Welcome, everyone, to the first ever live GameSpot After Dark podcast, which happens to be the 150th episode of GameSpot After Dark. As always, we like to make it convoluted. We like to make it different. But yeah, we are streaming on twitch.tv. So if you're listening to this on podcast services, you fucked up.
Wow. Roasted. But we appreciate the support.
Yeah,
we appreciate the
This
listen.
is a live future. If you are listening to this later on, get your shit together. Be here live.
Oh my God.
Or don't be here at all. Yeah.
Let's go. I'm your host, Tamor Hussain, joined by, on my left, the podfather, Jake Decker.
So I was going to get a steak to eat during this episode,
But you didn't?
but I didn't because
But
I
you
saw how
didn't.
I saw how small this room was, and I was like, it's going to smell like steak for a very long time. Also, eating steak to go doesn't seem like a good
No.
plan.
No. Interestingly, the pendulum has really swung on eating on a podcast, though.
People,
do you
people like it
mean?
now,
People
right?
are into it now. People were.
Oh, no.
Originally, it was like, don't do this shit. And I'm still like, very much against it. But
I'm
Is
camp,
it
don't eat.
Is it an ASMR thing?
no, it's people have become used to streamers streaming morning to night. So like they're like,
Yeah,
we're
it's probably
used to seeing
Hassan's fault.
people. Yeah, we're
Eating
used to
his, like,
seeing
weird
people
protein
eating,
balls.
shitting, and sleeping on stream now. I'm also joined on my left
Hello?
by Jean-Luc Saipke.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm feeling great.
Good.
This is good.
This is all Jean-Luc's making. So if something
excited.
goes incredibly well, you can thank
Praise
Jean-Luc
him.
for that. If it breaks, you can blame Jean-Luc for that.
Also, you're live switching with a stream deck, not Steam Deck,
I am.
Yeah.
which I keep calling it, which is very
I'd
cool.
say if it was live switching with the Steam Deck, that'd be
Yeah.
very impressive.
On this, the day of the Steam Summer Sale.
We also have Jordan Ramey to my right.
What up, what up?
And for the first time, I think, this is a podcast of many firsts. We've got 5 people. We're also joined by Lucy James.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah,
Good.
come in to the office. It's a lovely day in San Francisco. I'm here with my buds. It's Thursday.
I
I'm just going to keep talking. I don't know.
I am recovering from coronavirus.
He has tested negative.
I have
we made
tested
sure.
negative multiple times,
Exact-
but
Yesterday,
He just boldly says in this enclosed space.
when yesterday.
yeah.
Oh my god, we went to see Jake's new apartment, and Tam just went like, "Don't worry, I tested positive. I mean negative."
The look of terror in Lucy's eyes.
was like,
And Jake's just complete ambivalence because he
Yeah.
was like,
Already had it,
already
don't give a
No,
shit.
but I was like, "I'm going away this weekend. I can't be sick. No."
So I do still have a cough. So if you see me suddenly turning away to cough, that's because I'm about that coughing life now. But I promise you, I am good. As with most Twitch productions, we are monitoring the chat. So if you have questions, chuck them in the chat, and we will just absent-mindedly ignore most of them, but we'll answer the good ones.
I'm going to try to round them up and
Yeah,
throw
try
them
and
in our
round them up,
outline
yeah.
so we can hopefully answer them.
Yeah, we've already got a bunch of people, friendly faces in the chat. We got Batman. Yes, Batman is alive, and he's in our chat.
I
We've
see
got
some sloppy steak talk,
Yeah.
which is
Maria's in there. Chris Pereira's in there.
Chris Pereira with a, what does Corey Barlog know?
Many things. Many things.
Apperbone. Oh my god, Moobar.
Matt Paget is in there, unfortunately. Trilans is in here. I think that's Chris Hayner's in there as well.
Yeah, I
and,
saw
Hayner,
Hayner.
You'd love to see it, but
So sorry about Moobot.
yeah,
It's an egregious mod that we can't control.
lot of things going on, but yeah, we will be keeping an eye on that. We're probably going to go roughly 2 hours, which is a little longer than our usual podcast, because we figured if we're going to make a big song and dance of getting everyone here live, we will go for a little longer. This is a kind of like test run, so things will break, and we'll probably move our live streams in the future to another timing, mainly because we don't want to force people to choose between us and the beloved voicemail dump truck on Giant Bomb.
Pick between mum and dad.
Yeah, especially since there's a good chance that at least Lucy and I will be on the
Yeah.
voicemail dump truck
Yeah.
in the future.
I'll only be on if Paul Reichert's on.
I
Yeah.
think you guys should just do them at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
Just run back and forth.
I've
between the
done
rooms.
multiple. I've been in a situation where previously I was in multiple meetings at the same time.
Yeah. How? No,
Why?
it's ridiculous. I've
Answer
seen him do
questions
it.
and led presentations in both of them.
Oh my god.
I've had
Yeah.
moments.
I'm not sure that's something to be proud of. Like
I mean,
you.
sometimes you just get so busy that you just got to do it. Anyways, we're going to kick off first with our usual what we've been playing segment and what we've been experiencing, consuming, because we are, for our sins, consumers. And then we'll probably go into a topic of the week, which I literally came up with moments ago.
It's a good one though.
Yeah, it is a good
Because
one.
we
Really good
looked
at
at the
that.
sheet and we're like, we should go 2 hours.
There's
But
nothing
we
in
don't
there.
have enough to talk about for 2 hours. So Tamora
see.
does what he does best and pulled something out of his
My
ass.
annals. So we'll get to that eventually. And it'll be a good opportunity for the chat to get involved because it is kind of like a hypothetical situation. And also, I don't want to say what it is now because it's going to derail everything.
Okay.
But let's start with what we've been playing. And we're going to kick off with Jean-Luc. What have you been up to?
Well, the big one I played was I got to play a little bit of Plague Tale Requiem.
You lucky son of a bitch.
A little bit early. I think it's the same. Is it the same demo
It's the Tribeca demo.
Tribeca
Yeah.
demo? So if you had access to, I don't know, what was it? You paid $5 and you could play it.
$5 and you could play 3 games from that list.
Oh,
You
wow.
could have played like Cuphead and
shit.
the other stuff.
Well, Cuphead's like out in like
Yeah.
a week, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
really soon. Yeah. So like, but yeah, I got to play a little bit of Plague Tale Requiem. It is very much more Plague Tale. It's kind of a weird game to demo because I feel like Plague Tale is so much about the like just like that narrative and getting invested in the characters and like what's happening. So they're just like they throw you into like chapter 3 and you're like, I have
Still loads of rats, huh?
yeah, tons of rats. The rat tech is still on point.
Have they trademarked Rat Tech yet? Because I
hope
would.
so.
Well, like
I
the-
want to see the game opened with a logo for Rat Tech. That's ultimately
Yeah.
what I
Oh,
want.
like a
like speed tree
tree.
situation. yeah.
Yeah, rat tech is good. Those rats are just everywhere. It doesn't feel as big of a like generational leap as the first one, I would say. Like it's definitely going to look better and play better. But as someone who like just recently played Innocence like last year on the Series X, I was like, this looks fairly comparable to what the first one did. I'm sure like some of the like character models and fidelity looks better.
Did it get Series X upgrades?
It
on
did,
It
yeah.
did?
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
how I played it. It's a
Yeah.
very good version of that game
Yeah.
too. So
It's a great game. I really enjoyed it.
yeah.
And it picks up where the last game left off, right?
Yes. So I guess slight spoilers for the end of Plague Tale Requiem. But like
You mean
yeah.
Innocence.
Innocence.
I was about to say, don't you dare spoil this game for me, Jean-Luc.
I don't know the ending. But at the end of that game, they're like, oh, they basically just like leave whatever place they're in, and they're like, we got to go find safety. And then you are in this town. I'm not sure what
they
the
still
name
in
of the town
France?
is. I think so.
Is the
Is
town
it called
overrun?
Rattenberg or something like that? I
I was
want
gonna
this
be
game.
like, no, I was gonna be like, is it a town overrun by cats, like for safety to get
Ooh.
at the
Oh,
rats?
that's smart.
Yeah.
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Rotterdam.
What if that was like we can only defeat these rats with an equally large number of like
Cats.
evil cats.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. No, so they're like in this town, and Hugo, the little kid, is like ill, so you have to go find some nightshade for him, and so Amicia and Lucas are like heading off to go find him that like nightshade. Just bad shit's happening constantly. The part of the town is infected with rats, but the guards aren't telling anyone, and they're just murdering everyone in that like area to keep it contained. Eventually, you kind of like go through this sort of quarantined area, and then you come out into like the countryside because you're trying to find this like herbalist who's got the medicine. And I would say the interesting thing that they did was for the most part, the gameplay feels very much the same. You know, it's like, okay, like, yep, I got my slingshot, I got my pots, I can throw, extinguish or whatever it's called. Igneous? No, Igneous is the one
Ignis
where
is one that turns it lights it on fire.
You can light on fire, and then it's like extinguish. I don't know. They sound like Harry Potter spells.
Pocket sand.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, you're like pocket sand. So you can disable the lights or the torches, and then like the rats just eat everyone. The whole thing in this one is like, this is like Amicia's like Last of Us Part 2, where it's like, oh, she's like jaded.
She's
and, like,
grizzled.
She's grizzled now.
Yeah.
And so
hench.
every time you kill someone, she'd be like, yeah, you dogs, that's what you deserved. And then like Lucas is like, chill out. Like what is going on?
So does the combat and gameplay kind of reflect her more aggressive experience side? Because I remember a big part of Plague Tale Innocence, as it was called, was like her loss of innocence and how she kind of becomes a cold-blooded killer. Because I'm curious how the game plays itself.
At least in this slice, it was mostly very much the same. Like you still have to be very stealthy. Like you're gonna get like killed right away. But they added some interesting mechanics. Like there's now a counter system where you can actually kind of like push a guy away from you. So it's like she's kind of got a little more. Like she's a little more feisty now.
Yeah, she don't have a knife. You're not like sneaking up on people and like stabbing their throats and shit. No, you can't.
No,
do that.
there is a knife. You do get a knife, and you can go up and straight up stab people. But it's
What
like
have
a
you got
one-time.
there? A knife. No.
It is a one-time use knife though, so it's
it's like the shivs in Last of Us.
yeah,
Last
it's a little
of
more.
Us
It's a little more
The
strategic.
worst kind of knife.
I know, because you can only use them once.
Yeah.
So you've played Knifey Spoony before. Sorry.
Is there a greater focus on combat? I couldn't really, in the gameplay thing that showed up today, like it was mostly combat. I'm like, oh, I kind of missed the more puzzle like stealth.
Stuff.
Yeah,
so
stealth
there's
too.
still plenty of that, and in fact, like kind of one of the culminating areas in the demo was this section where you have to like get through this huge group of enemies, and you definitely have to stealth it, but it felt a little more open than the previous games, where it actually was like, oh, there's clearly multiple different paths I could take, and it's like, oh, I could hide behind here if like a guy shows up, or I could go this way. So it seems like they're trying to expand just sort of like the areas themselves, and it's not just like this linear straight shot
That's good.
like through each area, where it's like there's very clearly like the right way to do it. Like it felt a little more open, which I thought was cool. And then at the end of the demo, there is this whole section where like Amicia is like, oh, screw this. I'm over this. And you just straight up have this like showdown where you kill like 20 guards.
Jeez.
And I like what they're doing with it. I will say some of the voice acting from her got like a little goofy. She's putting on her like Batman voice when she was trying to sound like intense. So she's like, I'm just tired of this, Lucas. I need to kill them all. Like she would like put on this gravelly voice, and I'm
The
like,
origin story of French's first
and I'm just like,
vigilante.
this just kind of reads a little more hokey than like.
I wonder if
intense.
part of it's the accent too, because I know they all have French accents. So I wonder if like
Maybe.
that kind of
Yeah.
factors into it a little.
Like I just kind of found it a little more silly than like serious. I was like, okay, all right, but
She's got a crossbow in this one. That'll be
yeah,
fun.
I didn't get to use the crossbow or anything. So I think that's the interesting stuff, because I feel like that is where they would get more into like combat, right, and like really wanting to, because it was still very much like slingshot. You can only hit the guys if they don't have the helmets on,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
that kind of thing. So
Yeah, I think overall I'm just super curious how the combat progression is going to be, because I felt like that was so meaningful in the first game in terms of how you kind of become the master of the environment. You're able to use the rats to help fight things with you. And I know Lucas is sick, so he's not, or not Lucas, the kid, I forget.
Hugo.
Hugo is sick, so he's not with you to do that kind of stuff. But I'm curious like how you progress the gameplay with a character who's like already ready to kill, and like I guess it's getting a crossbow, which
The natural progression.
which doesn't feel as natural.
Although,
as,
did you watch the gameplay live stream thing that they
to happen today?
released
No, I
Yeah.
didn't get around to it.
I would say there's just this moment where like Amicia is just so hurt that she just turns to Hugo and she's like, "No, it's okay, go for it, do it. We have to." And he takes control of the rats, and you use the rats to just kill everyone there.
Oh,
So
okay.
like part
That's kinda cool.
controlling the rats.
Like the,
All the rats.
like
He's
the
con-
DC.
Yeah, like
hero.
like the DC hero, like he's controlling the rats and directing them to like kill everyone there. So I think there will be a part of the game where like Hugo is.
I think I complete the original. Does he like become Ratman in
kind of.
Essentially,
Becomes
yeah.
the Rat King.
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
You have like a
It's
There's like
very
a
brief.
There's
It's
a
very
showdown
brief
with
at
like
the
a
end.
priest.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
quite land the
And he has the
ending, I
white
thought.
rats, and you have the black rats,
was
and
very-
there's some weird
Oh
like
my
racial
God.
like
Oh,
thing
yeah.
there.
It went real video game.
Is this going for like a Last of Us kind of like tone? Like, is it gonna end with Amicia like trying to drown a rat and crying at the same time, or
That's
something?
kind of what it
like
feels
I
like.
hope so.
I don't know. if
Yeah,
that's
like the
gonna
Pied
work,
Piper
man.
comes in.
I want the Abby Ellie fight, but with Amicia and a rat, like
Halfway
frame
through.
by
Really,
frame.
like what?
replicated,
Like a Dark Souls Bloodborne giant rat.
That's kind of cinematic where they're
Yeah.
like fighting and Amicia's trying to drown the rat and the rat gets upper hand and tries to
Yeah.
drown her and it's just like
So
oh,
halfway
God.
through, you get to play the rat.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
You
a
get
good
the
twist.
rat's perspective. Yeah, that would be pretty sick. I'd play that game.
Someone in chat asked, "Is there a time jump from end of first game to?"
I'm not actually
Second
sure because again, the demo started me
Oh yeah.
in partway through the game, so I
Did
don't actually
Hugo
know.
hit puberty?
No,
he doesn't look that much older.
I was gonna say it's got to only be like a few months,
Okay.
if that. Like there's not like a serious time skip.
Didn't I think they used actual like to play him was an actual like toddler, I think, who
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so I'm curious how, because it's been years since that one came out, right? 2019. I'm sure they recorded it well before that too. I wonder how they're going about with the voice recording if it's not supposed to take place that much far after. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
actually had kids because I saw a video where they were like, we really wanted this to feel authentic, so we wanted to have kids read like all of these characters because it's mostly
Yeah.
kids, right?
Yeah, they cast a lot of rats as well for the same
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Each
I hope
individual
so,
rat.
yeah.
Yeah, each individual rat.
Just
has
baby
different-
rats.
They've got little mics set up. For
That's
them.
what I
They're in
wanna
their-
see.
They're in these little tiny like.
It's just like eat. Can you
Yeah.
do that again, but with less eat in it,
Yeah.
please? Okay, cool. If you're watching on Twitch, you will know that now we've just been raided by a giant bomb. If you're not watching on Twitch and you're listening to this later, as I said at the top, what are you doing with your life?
We value all of anyone
kidding,
who
we're kidding,
consumes
we're
this
kidding.
media.
Welcome,
We value
everyone.
and appreciate all of you.
So welcome, Raiders. Yes,
Yeah.
this room is dark, but it's atmospheric, and it's
Yeah, it's
because
cool.
we're called
It fits
GameSpot
the
After
reason.
Dark.
Yeah, exactly.
The room's a work in progress.
Did you
We're
see
working on it.
any Rat Kings?
No.
Not a single Rat
Any
King?
Last of Us Rat Kings.
No. We taught Dan Riker about Rat Kings the other day, and he's
Disgusting.
horrified by what a rat. Do you know what a Rat King is?
I don't know.
I mean, there's
You don't know what a Rat King
There's
is?
the gun in
Oh,
Destiny 2.
Do
no.
not
That's
bring
what
up
I think.
pictures of
Oh,
the.
let's
Do not
go.
bring up
So
pictures.
there's a situation
of
where
the
rats can get tangled together. Their tails get tangled together,
Yeah.
and they become a giant ball of rats.
Yeah.
I mean, that basically kind of happened.
yeah,
That's
that
why
happens
The
in the
Last
game.
of Us Part 2 enemy that you fight is called a
The
Rat King.
Yeah.
I don't remember that
Oh.
fight.
The Resident Evil fight.
It's the
Yeah.
it's
In
the
part two.
hospital
yeah,
fight.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
there you go.
Triland is like, just do not Google. Do not Google.
Everyone
Okay,
should Google
I do
Rat
remember hearing that enemy was called Rat King, and I was like, "That's a weird name, I guess." But I didn't look into it, and I guess I'm kind of glad I did.
I'm betting good money there will be a giant ball of rats in the new Plague Tale game.
I mean, they're kind
Oh,
of.
must be.
There
Yeah.
has to be. That's the only like.
I mean,
that's-
there's this. It's already like they move like water. It's just like.
I'm about to say
What is
the live stream today ended with them about to be engulfed by like a tidal wave of rats. So
Okay.
like
Well, that's
Engulfed.
tidal wave of rat, not Rat King.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
Rat
D-
King.
different thing. I see. When you said Rat King, I just pictured a rat with a
big
little
rat king.
crown.
Yeah, like the Royal Rat Authority
Yeah, like
from
the-
Dark
Yeah.
Souls. Just a big rat with a little. But yeah, that sounds like. Are you excited about this? Having finished?
Oh yeah, I'm
the
very
previous
excited
game?
about it. I mean, like I said, as a demo, it's a little more like, yep, this plays like the first game, a couple changes. For me, it's more just like I really got invested in those characters in that world. So I'm like, I just kind of want to see where the story goes. But the gameplay was never like, I don't know, like the gameplay was good, but it was never the strongest part of the game. Like it felt like it could use more improvement, and I will say that like what I saw in the demo felt more the same, so I'm like a little like I was kind of hoping it to be a little bit more, but also it's still like a very early slice. Like I don't have the crossbow yet. Maybe the crossbow changes everything.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
As crossbows do in games. If I've learned
Yeah.
anything, introducing a
Revolutionary.
bow or a crossbow into a game, that's
me.
That's
That's the
done.
mechanic. That's
Assassin's
what you
Creed
need.
Brotherhood, they added a
Ooh.
crossbow. Best Assassin's
Far
Creed
Cry,
game.
Oh, yeah.
Far Cry 3. Let's throw a bow and arrow in here.
Yeah.
Change the game.
Yep.
Yep, true. Yeah, exciting times. I think the actual the game, the first game, was such a surprise for a lot of people
Oh yeah.
that I'm interested to see where they go with it, because then when you have that situation, you're like, we can either stick close to what we unexpectedly delivered on, or we can try and do something different. I hope that it doesn't stick too close. And it seems like some of the stuff that they showed off already was like, we're going to keep it familiar, but there is opportunity to kind of expand a bit more on it. And my hope is that they do that, because just another one of these games will probably be fine. But it feels like they built so much goodwill with that original game that this is a good moment for them to leverage that and be like, hey, we're more than just a one-trick pony, like one-hit wonder. Yeah, so fingers crossed for that. Is there a release date for it yet?
They announced it today, right?
October 15th?
Yeah.
18th?
Do they have a cool pun for it as well? Like Rat Day is Among Us.
Hashtag Rat Day.
Hashtag
get
Rat
rat.
Emergence Day.
Hashtag unleash your rat. Rat Emergence Day is a good one. They don't have emergence holes, do they? In that game?
They kind of do.
No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have that.
They have mounds.
At the beginning of the first one, like there's a hole swallows a dog.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
horrifying.
that was fucked up.
They need to just steal that mechanic from Gears, where as
Oh,
soon
like
as you
I mean,
open
he's
it, you
just
gotta
chucking
throw
grenades
a
into
grenade.
holes.
To blow it up, and just loads of rats.
Honestly, that would fit extremely well. They
Yeah.
could totally
Would
do
do
that, and
pretty
I'd be like,
well.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, she's got a sling, right? She could, how they twirl the grenades in Gears of War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she could yell, like, eat shit, grub, or whatever Marcus yells.
Okay, you know, yeah, if she like leans into the voice and just does her best Marcus Phoenix impression, I'm all in.
Yeah, we said
Perfect.
Batman. It was actually Marcus.
It was actually Marcus. That's actually what they were going for.
Has anyone made the Plague Tale meme where it's the Tony Soprano from The Sopranos, where he's like got that guy and he's like, "Good morning, rat."
Oh no!
Probably
Someone needs to
not.
Photoshop that and just have Amicia and a rat. That would be so good. Get to work, chat. I expect it
Rats
delivered
away.
by the end of the stream.
Hashtag get ratted.
Yeah.
You got
Hashtag
an
rat
hour
out.
and a half.
You got an hour and a half. Yeah. Jean-Luc, anything else that you've been checking out?
The only other thing I've been checking out, which I think Jake's also been playing, is Neon White.
Yo,
Which is
It
fucking killer.
Oh my
so
God.
fucking good.
See, normally that'd be something that we'd cut out, but since it's live, it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there. It's too
Yeah.
late, yeah.
That's how it goes.
Good game.
It's really
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Great game.
Take it
Yeah.
away, Jean-Luc.
I would say my Steam Deck's on its way, so I'm waiting for that to
All right,
play
you don't have
Neon
to brag
White.
about your Steam Deck.
Yeah.
You have one.
Who doesn't have a Steam Deck here? Is it Lucy? Are you and I the only ones who don't have one here?
I bought a new PC instead.
Well, yeah, but that's not a Steam Deck.
No, but it's a new PC.
It's very expertly
Yeah, it
avoided
was a
the
very
question there.
yeah, it's a very expensive purchase. I was like, I keep trying to sign up. I get to the point where I open the page on Steam and I can put my email and whatever in, and I just I don't do it. I was sat next to Tam and I did it, and I was like, do I want one of these? And he went, yes. And so I closed the tab because I was like,
I'll
he'll
enable
lead me
anything.
astray.
I'll enable anything. But yeah, Neon White.
So I've been playing it on Switch because I don't have a Steam Deck, and I've been traveling this week, so I was like, I'm going to try it on Switch.
How is it on Switch?
It's pretty solid in terms of frame rate. I think it does 60. Someone told me it rarely ever drops on Twitter.
720p in it.
I think it's 720p. I've only played handheld. I haven't actually tried on a TV, so it looks good on an OLED screen from what I've played so far. It still feels pretty good. Now, obviously, it's not as precise as if you were playing on a PC. But that said, honestly, that hasn't really been much of an issue for me, and it's because I haven't experienced it on PC, but I've still been able to hit what I'm aiming at. There were a couple situations where I was having trouble hitting certain things, but it's still addicting as hell. I want to not use addicting to describe games, so I apologize, but it's all I've been thinking about. I started playing it last week, and I just want to play more.
Do you still have the leaderboards on Switch?
You still have the leaderboards. I think I'm the only one of my friends on Switch who's playing
I was
it.
gonna
So I
say,
can't compare it to anyone, which is one of the coolest parts.
Yeah,
So
but, what
when
if-
I get home, I'm going to be that idiot
But you're
who
the
buys
king.
it again. But yeah, I'm the best.
I was gonna say, what is
you're
this
number
is
one.
how I win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I picked it up on PC. That was the
Yeah.
deciding factor. It was well, everyone I know is playing it on PC, and I loaded it up, and I saw Ben Jank at the top of the leaderboards, and I said, I'm going to crush all
Not
of
on
this
my
man's
watch.
records. I'm going to spend.
Did it
all
work?
the
Did
time."
you do it?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I haven't. Maybe he's gone back and beat me, but it brought out a competitive
That
side
boy's
of me
got
that
too
I
much 14 to play.
don't have. Yes, exactly. Ben, go play more 14 and let me just absolutely destroy you.
Let me be the king.
Yeah. I think like I playing it on PC and mouse and keyboard is like the way to go.
Yeah.
for
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But I think if Switch is your only option, it is
It's
total.
so good.
Do not pass up on this game just because Switch is your only option.
when I
Have we
first-
described what it is?
No, I just went right into it. It is a speed running sort of first person shooter.
It's a speed running
Card game.
card game
I
meets
don't know.
also,
Card
but
game
like,
feels weird because like the cards
Yes.
aren't
Yeah, there's
really
only, like,
like.
It's a
cards.
first-person platformer,
Yes.
which where
Level-based.
level-based,
but also
where speed
visual
is,
novel.
but where speed is of the essence, but your moment-to-moment interactions are on top of guiding the character, are using or burning cards to give you additional kind of movement options. So you can do things like and you also have to kind of like factor those cards into eliminating enemies, which as far as you can tell, you cannot complete a level without taking out all the enemies.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you might have for example, a cluster of enemies and a card that allows you, if you play it normally, you throw out a bomb that explodes. And if you're close enough, you can use that to do like a bomb jump, a rocket jump. You can also, for example, burn that card to give you a double jump, for example. So it's a case of like very quickly using and burning cards and making moment-to-moment decisions as you're moving lightning fast and trying to get from the start to the end of a level. And in terms of like how the actual levels are constructed, they're like best described as kind of like the surf maps from Counter-Strike back in the day. So there was
Sure.
a subset of mods in Counter-Strike where the whole point was using the physics of the game to basically go from start to finish and glide, basically. It's kind of like, what's the Ubisoft racing game?
Trackmania?
Trackmania, a bit Trackmania-ish. And then on top of that, as Lucy said, there's a visual novel layer to it. There's a story being told, and it's very heavy at the start as
I
well.
was say, how good is the story? Everyone I know only talks about like the levels themselves, not the actual
I like
like
it.
Fine.
story.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's an interesting conceit that you're an assassin and you're taken from hell to heaven, and you basically get to earn your redemption by killing as many demons as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your character has amnesia, but then
Yeah.
everyone else is like, "Oh, hey, it's you," and he's like, "I don't know who you are," because it's a classic video game.
Yeah, I think the problem with the narrative is not the narrative itself. It's that the core gameplay is so much fun and so engaging that the narrative, the visual novel element of it, just serves to keep you away from that.
So it's taking you away from
It's
the stuff
taking-
you
like,
want to do.
especially
Yeah.
up front. The first hour is a lot of like setup
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
I just want to do the running. Like,
It's-
I just want to run.
And I
I
think
find myself skipping through a lot of it.
Yeah.
Some of the writing is a bit.
Yeah, there's a John Cena joke, which I was like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
very try hard, cool, modern, edgy, and I'm like, you're not hitting any of those notes well. Like this, I don't mean to shit on it, but like the writing's not great.
Yeah.
I
So
feel
still
like-
like a top 10 contender for the year,
Oh,
but maybe,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
not
Gameplay-
like
Gameplay-wise,
definitely
I
one
think I
or
like
two.
the story more than most. I agree, it's
Yeah.
not like amazing, but like I enjoyed the characters enough, and I think it feeds really good into the
Yeah.
speedrunning stuff, where there's also presents you can find in each level that actually encourages you to like kind of like go off to the path and look for them.
Yeah.
and they're fun. They're like puzzles.
Yeah, they're like
So-
little puzzles you have to do, because it's like, oh, you have to the path you'd have to take to get, like, say, the best time requires you to like burn this card here and do this and do
Yeah.
this, but instead you actually want to save the card so that you can get up to this like really high platform off to the side. So like requires you to like use alternate
Yeah.
thinking.
And
which is
it
And you can
unlocks-
loop them, like you can do a present run and then a speed
Exactly.
run,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
a completion run like that.
Yeah, but it also unlocks like side missions, and I don't know if you guys have done many of these
Those are
for
cool.
certain characters,
Yes.
and they're really cool because they're very focused on one ability or one sort of rule set. And like there's one, I forget who has it, but basically you have to use the bombs to like platform across the entire area. There's
Yeah.
no like flat places for you to stand. It's
Yeah.
all like sticking bombs to a wall and
then
using
just-
that to keep jumping
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
It and there's like platformers that are just covered in spikes, and you have to like zip around pretty carefully. So like those missions are cool. So I think it's worth collecting the presents and having those conversations so you can at least see those, even if you're not into the story.
Sure.
But I will say a lot of the characters to me feel like they were trying to go for the whole like Hades sort of
Hades,
like
Yeah,
oh, look at
and the
these
present stuff as well.
yeah, look at these
Yeah.
very attractive like I hope the internet latches onto these characters,
Yeah.
and I'm not really getting that vibe.
I mean, I
from-
love the designs. I want
The
I want
designs
the-
are
I
cool.
love.
those
I love.
masks.
I think Neon White's voice actor is also.
Steve Bloom.
Oh,
Is
Yeah.
it Steve Bloom?
Yeah. It's Steve Bloom.
Oh, I was like,
I mean, yeah.
so good.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah,
Bloom.
It fits them.
yeah, it fits
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
What a
I-
grab for an indie game.
I know, right?
Well, it's AI, right?
What?
Annapurna Interactive.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the characters are they're a certain ilk. It feels like they're
Yeah.
very much pulled from anime stereotypes and character archetypes as well. There's the e-girl and there's the mysterious tsundere like sniper
there's the
girl. And
Ryuji,
there's the
there's your-
Ryuji. There's the Makoto. Everyone's here. All the archetypes are here.
Mhm.
And I think like so far it doesn't really do anything to subvert that. So
Yeah.
like maybe it does later on, but
I think my favorite part about the story is how just absolute dicks the angels are.
Yeah.
Like you're in
Yeah,
like
they're very
heaven,
hedonistic.
and they are just like, oh, look at this excellent heaven ice cream we're having. It's so tasty. Like we can have as much as we want. And they're like, oh, fucking like hell, like trash scum. Like they're just like fucking don't care
Trash
about you at all. And I'm
scum.
like, wow, okay.
I mean, technically, yeah, I guess. Trash scum, you are in hell.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're in hell.
And they're just like, heaven's a great place. And they're like, but God doesn't care about you. And I'm like, Jesus, okay.
yeah.
So I like that aspect.
I think it's one of those games that there's certain games that you play which are like they take something that a subset of people who play games are capable of doing and make it attainable and accessible for everyone. Like I don't know. I was trying to figure out, but like I can't think of a good example. But like not a particularly great example. But like Elden Ring makes the Souls formula more approachable for a lot of people by giving them options. For example, like more people are likely to understand From Software's games and feel good about playing them and really get the magic of them by playing Elden Ring than perhaps something like Dark Souls 1, which is like more punishing. But you get the vibe and you get the kind of like what makes it special. I think this does the same for speedrunning, where it's like it's very approachable, it's very playable for pretty much everyone, and just by playing it you get the vibe of this is what it feels like to be a speedrunner.
Yes.
And there's a lot of magic in that. You might not stick with it, but it kind of reminds me, and it's easy to feel good at the game. It reminds me of when you do a good run in Mirror's Edge. Like when you first started playing Mirror's Edge and you were like,
Good game.
oh, this
Yeah.
feels really good. Like, and it's different and I don't feel like I'm screwing it. And then obviously they introduce the people with the guns and you're like, I'm terrible at this. Why is everyone shooting me? What's going on?
Oh, now I'm sad because
But
they
like-
said they're not going to do No Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. But it's one of those games that I would say I'd recommend to pretty much anyone just to give it a try.
Yeah.
And chances are you'll appreciate its design, if not really get enveloped by its story and characters. The world is cool looking.
It reminded me
music's
a
great.
little bit of Paradise Killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It
There
does
was a
have
period
that
where I was
same kind of-
confusing those two.
And the music's great. It's got like
Oh.
low-key drum and bass
Mhm.
like style music. I would
It's
absolutely
on
buy a
Spotify, I
vinyl.
think.
Yeah, is it if they release a vinyl, that would be like one of those things. I was like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, and Maria points out perfect timing with GDQ around the corner. I can't wait to see what people do with
That's
that.
yeah. Oh, people are gonna do some wild shit.
Yeah.
Well, even like trying to beat people's times, I feel like you figure out interesting routes that you don't feel like you were supposed to do. Like sometimes you use a bomb to just skip half the level,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, well this just shaved off like 4 seconds.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like there is gonna be a lot of malleability in terms of like how people actually complete these levels and how they can. And then once you add in the ways people break the game, I'm sure it'll be even wilder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Playing on Steam Deck is pretty good if you use the weird touchpad thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I originally was playing on mouse and keyboard, and I was like, I don't want to play on Steam Deck because of the stick, forgetting that it's got the weird little touchpad thing, and it's not as quick because you can't flick your wrist to like do quick turns and that stuff. But like you can like glide your thumb over quickly to make quick adjustments. So it is a nice middle ground between a controller and a mouse, I think.
Yeah.
So if you do have a Steam Deck, it
I'm
is
just looking
super
at
good on
the
it.
Steam website. Don't worry about it.
Just have
just
a
gonna
glance
look.
Just
at it.
pre-order.
Just have a look.
I mean, like, if you pre-ordered it now, you probably wouldn't get it for a while. And by
Yeah.
the time it becomes available to you,
Steam
you'll be
Deck
up for
2.
it.
And you also don't pay for it all up front. You just put $5 down
Yeah.
to
And then you make the
$5.
decision.
Yeah.
Then you make the decision. So that's what I'm saying. You know,
Which
think
is
about
the
it.
good one?
The one with the more hard
I'm not
drive
getting the
space.
$650. Can you put an SD
can,
card
yeah.
in it?
You can.
Mhm.
Which is why a lot of people, I think, bought the cheapest one.
Yeah, I think there's like the most expensive one has a better screen.
It does,
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, and the SSD is a bit bigger.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like 500.
so-
gigs.
But
Much
yeah,
to think about.
It's a later Lucy problem. Like, you don't have to.
you'll be fine.
Oh, I have Steam credit.
Do you have enough?
I'm about to say.
No, I have $19.
Also, buying this, as I've realized, will get you a shit ton of like Steam.
You know what's
credit.
a good value for it? You know what makes it a better value? You already own a bunch of games for it.
I do own a lot.
Yeah.
Of
There's
That's-
probably a lot of games that you haven't played yet as well. Imagine that.
You
The
can play
moment
Hollow
you get
Knight
one,
on it.
Yeah.
it
You
You
opens
can play
the
Hollow
door.
Knight Silk Song
I have
on
Hollow
it.
Knight on my
It
Switch.
opens the door for you to enjoy your library to the fullest now.
Mhm.
No longer are you tied to your mouse and keyboard and chair.
And there's a lot of like, I don't know, it's fun to like just mess around and like try a game, be like, ooh, how will
Play
this play
Overwatch
on
2 on
like
the go.
portable?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Oh, okay. Shit. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I
Overwatch 2
reserved.
on the go.
I reserved the middle one.
Overwatch 2 on the go, yeah. That would be good. Yeah, so Neon White, well worth playing.
Hmm?
I'll get to it.
What else is going on? Who else? Jake, you only have Neon White listed here. Is there anything further you want to say about it?
No, I think we covered it pretty thoroughly. I haven't, like I said, I've been out of town, so I haven't really been playing
You're busy moving.
much. Yeah, I've just been playing stuff on my Switch.
Mm-hmm. Good. Jordan?
I say I haven't really been playing anything new since getting back from LA. I'm always playing Apex. I will never stop playing Apex. I'll probably stop playing Apex when they finally release Titanfall 3, whenever that happens.
Keep going, buddy.
Look, if Silk Song's dream can be kept alive, then Titanfall 3's dream can be kept
I
alive.
want it as much as you do, but not sure
It'll
about that
happen
one, Chief.
one day. Eventually, at some point, people will get tired of Apex Legends. I
Well,
don't
not
know
if people
when that
keep
day is
playing
going.
it.
Yeah.
You're playing yourself here.
Well,
Yeah, you're part of the problem
Yeah,
now.
hang
it's
on.
still fun. I'm not gonna stop playing it for a while. Also, it's making EA like what $1 billion or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't
They need to
think
go
I
in
don't
there
think
and be
Respawn
like-
I don't think Respawn can willingly stop supporting.
They just need
Apex
to go in there and be
Legends.
like, what if we made a single player Apex Legends game? And they'll be like, ooh.
Ooh.
I like the way this guy.
Yeah, this is good. And then before they know it, Titanfall 3 exists. It's called.
But it's just called Titanfall.
It's called Apex 4.
Apex 4.
It's called Apex, but the E is a 3.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, ooh, this is good.
I would say a lot of people are wondering because a lot of Respawn folks who were doing stuff on Titanfall 2 and Jedi Fallen Order, they have recently left Respawn and they're making their own studio called Gravity Well.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't announced like what game they're making. A lot of people are like, what if they just make what's essentially Titanfall 3 like without getting sued for essentially
Is
just
that
making
what you want though?
No, but
even if it was a game that like mechanically felt like Titanfall, you'd still be missing the Titanfall part of it. It's like if they took every member of the Marvel universe and created a different universe, I'd be like,
isn't that what the MCU technically is?
No, but if it was like instead of Spider-Man, it was like fucking I don't know, Rabbit Man
Man-Spider.
or something like that.
Rat-Man.
Well, Man-Spider is a character,
Yeah.
Oh
so
my God.
like without the license, you want the license. That's
that's
the thing that
true.
you want,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
You're not getting BT in there again
You
if you
want
don't have the
Cooper and
license.
BT.
Yeah,
There could be a new BT.
I guess.
BT
T-
Junior.
TB.
Doesn't TB stand for something?
Tuberculosis.
Damn, hate to see it.
But yeah, just Apex is also just going through an issue right now where it's broken to hell on Xbox.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
for whatever reason, it doesn't read input delays. It doesn't read inputs correctly, so it's delayed on everything. So when you're trying to like switch guns, it takes like a half second longer. Or when you're trying to like
geez.
sprint, it takes like a second and a half for the game to register that you're trying to sprint, which in a first-person
helpful.
shooter is like everything.
That is a wild problem to
Yeah.
find in this many years into that game's life.
Do you only play on Xbox or do you play
I pretty
other
much only
platforms?
play on Xbox.
Because mostly played on PlayStation, and then I was like, I'm going to try PC. And good lord, the skill level takes a huge jump. Like I've done Warzone from like Xbox PC, and I've done some other shooters, and it's been largely okay. But man, Apex Legends is brutal on PC, at least for an idiot like me.
The level of play that
if you're not
PC players are
as a baseline, you're done.
A friend of mine last week said the sentence, I think I might read Art of War to prepare better for Apex Legends Online. I'm like, what the fuck? Just a friend of mine, random friend. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm going to read like Art of War.
And he's like, I think it'll just help me with my tactics. And I'm like, it absolutely will not. They were not talking about, I don't know, what the fucking assault rifles that people were toting back then.
Yeah, what separates us from like Shroud?
You need to interview your friend like a month from now and ask him like if his game has improved.
I would commission that friend to write what Art of War taught me about Apex Legends.
I would actually click the hell out of
that. Click that, yeah. I would read that. And even if it's like ends in
the whole thing like, was nothing, I would still be like, it was worth the read.
How long is the Art of War?
It's very short.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
I remember I had a pocket sized one that I kept with me.
Oh yeah, you did. Says,
which I got because I thought it'd help me with Counter-Strike.
So it is real. There's a cycle to it. I knew it.
Oh, Street Fighter and Counter-Strike mainly.
Tryland says there is an audiobook of the Art of War. Could you imagine, like,
trust me,
just listening to it while you're just playing?
You don't need it. It didn't help me with Street Fighter at all or Counter-Strike. So,
but you're ready for real war now.
No, if you really wanted to do it, you read the Art of War and you play like Total War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably. Well, I haven't read it. I don't know, so maybe it wouldn't come in handy. But in my head, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
I don't think Sun Tzu is going to be writing anything about like TTK or anything, is he?
Yeah. Like in
or BT or
battlefield, you sure that your Gibraltar is putting down. It's like, what? Are you alright? No, that's not happening. So you're playing. Apex, what else?
Since my volleyball league is taking a short break the past few weeks, I've been jumping back into Switch Sports volleyball. So I'm now the highest rank in that. So I should theoretically play any of the other sports at this point.
No.
But I'm also at the top, and I can just, if I keep playing, I'll remain at the top. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing volleyball virtually until real volleyball comes back. My poor partner, they're very patient with me and just being like, "Are you still playing volleyball?" Like 3 a.m.
I thought you were getting them to play, and they're like, "I don't want to play volleyball anymore. I want to go to bed."
We're at the top of the leaderboard, and we're staying here.
No, I'm the cruel, unsupportive partner who's like, "Oh, you're just not good enough at volleyball, so I'm gonna play by myself."
Batman says Jordan remains suffering from success with like, the DJ Carlo.
Lucy, what have you been up to?
I've been playing The Quarry. I've been playing a lot of Neon White, but I've been playing The Quarry on stream, and that is a very fun time.
How is it? Is it Until Dawn like level or more like?
Well, the creepy stuff hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
So.
How far are you into it?
Creepy stuff doesn't really happen.
I'm at the end of. I'm starting chapter 3 tonight.
That's a long time to go without any creepy stuff happening.
I'm at chapter 9.
No creepy stuff.
And like,
what the fuck?
There's like, there's nothing scary in it. There's maybe I'm like immune to it, but it does have like moments. I'm like,
I had a couple of moments where just like someone would walk in the background of a frame, and I would go, "Hoo," but nothing massive.
It feels designed to make streamers overreact more than actually scare people. If you know what I mean.
Sure. It's good marketing.
Well, the problem is, so I'm playing on PC and. Really putting that investment to work, playing it on like everything max and whatever. My PC's good enough to handle it, but like the sync with the mouth stuff, like some of the characters have a really good mouth tech, Like Brenda Song's character model is
They spent a lot of money on
perfect.
Brenda Song, and they didn't spend. They took all the money from the water tech and they put it in Brenda Song face tech.
Yeah.
Because anytime
This one
someone
face
is
will
in
be
water,
perfect.
Yeah.
the water looks absolutely atrocious. Like it's hilarious. It's like sludge, like moving around, and you're
Maybe
like,
that's the monster, Tam.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hilarious. But then it cuts to Brenda Song, and you're like, that's a real person.
Yeah, sometimes she genuinely just looks like a real person. Like her model is so good, but some of them don't look bang on, and like the mouth is kind of broken. And sometimes the game just like the audio goes out of sync, and I'm like, and then chat will go, no, it's just this happens to everyone.
They also do that thing where sometimes the character will smile and show way too much gum. Like they're all
much
like,
gum?
No,
the
you know
lips
what?
go really high. I've like
Oh, yeah, I saw your thread.
I've got like
Oh,
a thread
yeah.
of like weird faces from the quarry, and like there's some wild
Yeah.
faces in that shit.
Because every time you make a decision, the game just zooms in on a character's face and then slows it down,
Yeah.
but just in the
And they're
most
like-
awkward frames ever. And then you're just kind of there for a while. And so sometimes there'll be something really serious happening, and then someone just looking like they entered a gurning competition or
Yeah.
something, or their neck is at a weird angle.
So
but amidst all
have-
that, I really enjoy it.
Have you figured out what the villain more or less is? Like what the supernatural enemy
No.
is?
Yes.
Okay, because you
Yeah,
have.
you're
have,
chapter
yeah.
I won't
9.
spoil it, but I think like for me personally, I don't find that concept that scary.
No.
Yeah.
So for me, that took a lot of the mystery and wind out of the scarier aspects of the game. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Someone pointed out in the chat that like it's schlocky horror. Like to be honest, I'm there to see people die in really gruesome
Yeah.
ways because
I think Until Dawn is still the strongest.
I agree.
Written
yeah.
Well, I think the benefit of Until Dawn was, since it was the first one, you were like, oh, is this an actual supernatural thing, or is this
Yeah.
just someone
Yeah.
fucking with them?
They also
And it,
outdid David
plays
Cage at his
with
own
that.
game, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
I think another thing for me is from a writing perspective, I feel like they hit the balance way better with Until Dawn, where it was like they,
I prefer the characters in this one, though.
for now.
Oh, no.
There are some like at one point I was like, I want to kill every single one, and I
Do it.
Not
Do
even
it,
Brenda
coward.
Song.
even Brenda Song. There's moments where I
No.
was like, you are awful.
There was
Why-
there was a moment in, I'm not going to spoil what it was, but there was such a bitchy girl on girl moment in chapter 2
Yeah, I know exactly
that I
what
was genuinely like furious. I was
Yeah.
like, I would not be friends with her. We never talk to
You
her
could just
again.
kill them, Lucy.
The thing is, like, I had that moment immediately after that where I was
Yeah.
like, she's got to go, and then like to their credit, a series of things happened where I was like, okay, this character has now earned a reprieve from death, so I will allow
For now.
For now.
Yeah, but do you ever think
Puppet
though, like,
master controlling this.
you know, there's a puppet master watching us, and we're all just one moment away from
So like
all that stuff.
I hope it's not a gamer who's in control of it. Me, please.
I think what I was gonna say is like, Until Dawn hit the balance of being like schlocky teen, survival horror writing.
Yeah.
Almost like they knew what they were going for, and anytime there was an awkwardly delivered line or awkward bit of dialogue, it felt on purpose. It felt like it was on purpose. They did it on purpose. This feels like they're going for that, but they've also accidentally got a bunch of bad writing in there. And it constantly swings between, because there's times where it's way more like immediate plot holes. Like someone will say or behave in a way that I'm like, that's baffling. I don't understand.
186
That's baffling.
endings.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious how it's going to end for you guys. Because like I said last week, my ending was... It just felt incomplete. There were plot holes. There were things that were... Like, you could tell there were scenes missing because it would fade to... It would be focused on certain characters, fade to black, and then fade back into the same characters. And I was like, okay, clearly there was something that was supposed to go there.
Yeah, there's one character. I think Justice Smith is the weakest part of that cast.
Who's that?
Like he plays Ryan.
Oh yeah, he is the worst part.
He the podcast listener.
He's not.
Hey, he might listen to After Dark, all right?
It's weird because they like really, at the beginning, they really pitch him as almost like the protagonist, kind of.
Yeah, he's like unbelievable. He gets worse and worse with
Really?
every scene.
Damn.
It's reached a point now where I'm like, you deserve to die.
Is that
Like
person
everything
famous?
bad should happen to you. He's like, also like his delivery is like, he is just not at all trying. Like he's he delivers his lines like he's got his breakfast in his mouth still, and he's just like,
But it's not like he can't act. Like
he can act.
He was
but
good.
It might have been bad
Detective
direction.
Pikachu,
Like,
right?
I don't know if it
And
was
he
bad
was in-
direction. He just seems because
Jurassic
everyone
Park
else
or
is
Jurassic
going
World.
for it. Like they're really doing it. Like there's the kid who plays Dylan, who's like,
I
he's
love Dylan.
he's
Don't
like
say anything about
he
Dylan.
swings back and forth between being annoying and like is actually kind of fun and cool.
But how
Yeah.
much of that do you think is due to the choices you're making and not so much? I mean, still, I guess that is inconsistent if you're able to make choices that vary that widely. But do
Yeah.
you think there's a way where you could play it where his character would have made more sense?
Ryan?
No,
Or-
sorry, Dylan.
Dylan.
I mean, either character, I guess.
I
but-
think the thing that I find annoying about Dylan is his personality more than anything.
Yeah.
Not
You
not
leave
like
my sweet Dylan alone.
he's good, he's fun, but he's got like that kind of weird. He has these weird moments where he's like, he seeks approval from people in a way that's very strange. That it's
Yeah.
like very out of character for him. So like his personality swings in very weird
There's
ways.
like the opening scene at the beginning where he's in the office with Ryan.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's when he was good. Like he's being smooth. Like,
sure.
oh, you should get.
well,
fond of
yeah,
her.
yeah. He's like trying to
Yeah.
be flirty with him, but then at the same time, he also keeps being like
creepy.
creepy and
Yeah,
like, or like, what if
exactly.
I take this gun and like really? And then Ryan's like, don't do that, and he's like, fine.
See,
But then
that's
he-
the
but then
bit
he goes
where
back to being flirty.
initially
yes.
that's the bit where I was like, this is weird, and then later on they return to that exact moment, and Ryan's like, it's kind of a minor spoiler. There's like a kind of like a back and forth about who should have the gun, and Ryan is like so annoying in that scene because he's like, I'm the only one who should have a gun. It's like, why? You suck.
You said you should not
Yeah,
be the only
and
one with a
meanwhile,
gun.
like the person who has proved themselves to be the best with the gun, at no point goes, I think I should have the gun. Even it's like the Brenda song scene. That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Oh,
She
yeah.
rolls up and she's like, boom, 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 expert marksman, and then she's like, no, I don't want the gun. It's like,
I
what are you
think-
talking about? You just
there is a way to get her a gun,
Gun,
but yeah,
yeah.
but that situation felt weird because it's like who in their right mind would not want to give her
her the gun, yeah. Because
Because
it's basically like, I'm Rambo, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
you don't need a gun. It's like, what are you talking about? It's
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, Justice Smith is like, he stands out because as you get further and further along, he keeps making decisions and justifying and aligning himself with like purposes that feel so dumb. And like, I'm convinced, like, if it doesn't end with him being some sort of like, it's more to his character than what there is currently, I'll be very shocked because his characterization is just wildly
He's just
weird.
a quiet guy who likes
Yeah.
podcasts.
He's not until he starts being an absolute top 10 weirdo. And you're like, what's wrong with you? And like, there's other characters who are like, and it stands out because there's, I think his name Jacob, the other guy.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's his name.
Yeah.
Can't forget.
He's the classic like douche, like frat boy, but he's consistent at least.
Yeah.
And he has-
Consistently a
he's my
douche.
favorite.
I love
he has
Jacob.
moments.
Yeah.
When he was when you were in the, and again I'm very early on, but like the bit with him and Emma in the
Convenience
the,
store or whatever?
the like the stock
Yeah.
room.
The
and he walks past the thing of melons, and I was streaming
some
it, and I was
melons,
like, if he doesn't pick up 2 of those melons, and then he immediately does it, I was like,
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Yes, and he maintains that kind of vibe, and like his changes in his character feel earned, or they feel natural. Where it's like he's simping hard for Emma, so like everything that happens to him is through the lens of simping for Emma.
Yeah.
Whereas like Ryan, just 1 minute he's like this, and the next minute you're like, he's just saying the most like mind-boggling things where you're like, what's wrong with you? What happened?
So you
to
just want to be more consistent, not to be a better
And also,
character.
like, the problem with Ryan is he feels like a plant, where things are happening and it's like he doesn't see it. Like, he's like ambivalent to things that happen. Like, for example, this is not what happens, but like, there might be one character who murders another character, and he'll be like, well, maybe that character's got some good ideas. Like, let's hear him out. It's like, what are you talking about? You just watched this happen. Like, what? It's
We
that
don't know the whole story.
It's that level of like just completely oblivious to everything happening around him, and you're like, you feel like it starts to feel like he's there to facilitate like pushing through plot holes, and it just becomes a point where I'm like, I don't like you at all. But like, it's kind of interesting because I'm clearly invested in the cast at the same time. Like the fact that I don't like Ryan as much as I don't like him clearly means that I'm like engaged with the rest of the cast, and in that and through that kind of like understanding, Supermassive is doing a good job of creating these characters. They might be there being like, yes, our plan to make Ryan an annoying shitbag has worked.
They're listening to this podcast
They're
like,
"Yeah,
yes.
He thinks he's criticizing us, but actually he's fallen into our trap. And I'm like,
I think to your point though, with Until Dawn, I right when I started that game, I felt like I wasn't supposed to like any of these characters, and I felt like that was very intentional. With this, it definitely feels up in the air. Like some characters I really don't like, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not supposed to. While other characters I like, and I'm like, but I don't know if I should like this character. It feels, I guess, it feels pretty mixed in terms of the cast.
Because like
overall.
Until Dawn has that scene at the beginning where like I forget exactly what they do, but they like
Oh, I remember what they do. The
Oh,
girl with the crush.
yes, they, like,
Yeah. It's fucked up.
yeah,
It's
they do this
really
like fucked up
messed
thing to her,
up.
and so you're like, all these people are gonna die horribly, and I'm excited to watch
Yeah.
it. Like,
yeah. I think the most exciting thing that you can look forward to, Lucy, as player is like that's not the entire cast.
Oh yeah.
There's more characters.
I've seen a couple
that
like
come-
in
there's
the
one
shadows.
there's one character, a woman who shows up, and I was like immediately my favorite.
Yeah.
I was like, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She rolls up and she's like ready to do business, and I'm like, she's the best, easily the best. And then you get to play an extended segment about her and her story, and you're like, this is cool.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking Metal Gear character out of nowhere. I'm just like, hell yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying the game. I think it's like writing is a bit inconsistent, but fundamentally, I think it's the best games they've made since Until Dawn. And they clearly have a place within the kind of industry. Like no one's making games like they are. No one's making that specific kind of game, and I hope they continue to, and I hope it's a success. I'm interested. They're in a tricky spot because anytime they do a game that isn't like teenage slasher fic, people just are like, eh.
But they could evolve the formula in some way. It's not like Life is Strange remained the same game through all of its iterations. So like they could probably find a way to evolve the mechanics of
Wow.
this style of game.
Yeah.
Be the killer.
Yeah.
You know?
I do think it would be fun to like have a bunch of GameSpot people stream it, pass the controller, do the whole
Yeah, we
multiplayer.
should do
Everyone
that.
takes different characters.
I would, you
and
know what
just-
I would love to see them do? Like, get an actual licensed property. Like, give them give
Yeah.
them Scream or Friday the 13th.
Oh,
or
that would be
Scream would be
rad,
really
yeah.
good.
Scream would be really good.
Yeah, that would be such a good thing. It makes perfect sense
Because
because,
we're in
like,
the
you know,
Scream Renaissance.
Give
Yeah.
someone a control of Ghostface.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be pretty fun.
because like they're clearly open to it. Like those movie publishers are giving like Ilphonic a bunch of their properties to make like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dead by
Games
Daylight.
that are-
Ilphonic's just rolling.
yeah, they're making
They've got
making
behavior.
games that are like not naturally fitting in within that kind of universes. It makes sense for like someone to go like, hey, we've got this thing that you're clearly inspired by. Do you want to just make something in there? Like, I would love to see like someone be bold enough to be like, our next entry in this historic horror franchise isn't a movie, it's a game, and it's an interactive game. So the next, I don't know, Freddy Krueger movie, or even like a Scream or Friday the 13th or whatever it may be, is a game made by Supermassive. I'd love to see them do that.
and like
Even-
get the
yeah.
writers to like come in like for Scream. Maybe,
Yeah,
and-
I mean, like, I feel like even if they made a game as good as The Quarry in the Scream universe, for example, that would
Right.
be pretty special. Like,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool because you have Ghostface and that kind of stuff, and also like the idea, like that whole thing with the Rami Malek character in Until Dawn start with where he was fucking with people. Like, that's just a beat
I still
from.
can't get over the fact that it was Rami Malek.
Yeah, that's just a beat from Scream. Like, remember, where
Right,
they,
yeah.
and they like they had that thing where it was like, who is Ghostface, and it
Oh,
turned out.
Tryland says Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evil Dead could. I feel like Scream.
like
works
Scream's the
way
perfect
better
Scream's
fit.
probably the
because it's
yeah.
like multiple like
Yeah.
teenagers and like Ghostface, and it could be one of them that is
Yeah,
Ghostface.
Scream
Yeah.
sets up like a twist better because they really like
Yeah.
doing that. Where like a Friday the 13th would be like,
Or
you know who it
what
is,
they
it's
should
Jason.
do? Revive an old franchise. Let them make the next entry in The Faculty. Remember The Faculty?
With
Nope.
Elijah
That's
Wood.
So
Really
yeah, The
old.
Faculty is an old movie where it's like weird horror alien shit. Is it aliens? Horror
Yeah.
shit happening in a school, and like the teachers have become like really weird. It's such a good movie.
What year did that
It's
come
one of
out?
Like
Chastity's favorite
99?
movies.
Oh, really?
We watched it every now and then.
98,
Yeah,
yeah.
Chastity
Yeah, I
used
was
to-
about to say, I'm like,
used
it's
to watch
Josh
it.
Hartnett, Elijah Wood.
Yeah, like bring back a classic horror.
Robert
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people in there.
T1000 himself.
John
and
Stewart
Usher.
is in that. Yeah, as pointed out by
John Stewart's in it.
the kid called Jack. Yeah, John Stewart is in that. He's
Wow.
like one of the teachers, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Or
mean-
even like someone points out, Tryland points out, episodic X-Files. Like you could give them X-Files.
I mean,
like,
I've been saying for years I've always wanted like a Telltale X-Files game, so
Yeah.
like, just give it to them.
Yeah.
Good
But
too.
also
And, like,
Usher
that's-
is in this movie, so
yeah, Aliens is something they
Corey
haven't.
should definitely, or whatever, Supermassive should get
Yeah.
definitely get a Usher in their next
Yeah.
game.
They haven't done Aliens yet, so that will be something new for them, I guess. So like, if that would be a good like tonal shift as well.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like
The
the
property.
Fox property, and I was like, fucking no, leave Alien alone, please,
I mean,
everyone.
I would rather have Supermassive I would rather have Supermassive take an attempt at the Alien franchise than another over the shoulder or like isometric shooter game in that
Right.
franchise, which is exactly what we keep getting. So yeah,
That
should
was
we-
a deep sigh.
that was
Yeah.
that deep sigh was to help my actual like breathing as opposed to anything else.
Yeah.
So let's move on, unless anyone else has anything
Chris
else.
is like, make it the thing. That would be awesome.
The
Thing will- yeah,
the
that'd be
thing.
Yes.
There is already the Thing game, and it's
It is-
very
it is
good.
pretty cool.
It's
Pretty
very
good.
I
good.
should
yeah.
play that.
Dude,
It's
it's
like my
good.
favorite.
I think
movie
it's
of
on
all time.
PC, so you can play it on Steam Deck maybe.
Okay.
All roads lead back to Steam.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered one. You're fine.
Yeah.
This podcast is over. We achieved our mission. Bullying Lucy buying a Steam Deck.
Anyone else want to bring anything up before we move on?
I've put a couple of
Topics of the
topics
week.
in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's speed through these ones, so then
Yeah.
we can get to the actual feature one that we came up
Mhm.
with. This comes from the Smoking Man X, Chris Pereira, noted X-Files fan, which is not relevant to this, but
No, it X-Files Leica.
X-Files Leica. Yeah, we have it's me, Kurt, and Chris Pereira in a group chat about the X-Files, and it's called the X-Pests, which is great. He says, deadline headline just now. Chris Pratt says his Super Mario Bros. Voice is unlike anything you've heard in the Mario world.
Oh,
Please
no.
discuss this
It's
threat.
gonna be
What
racist.
does
It's gonna be
that
racist.
I
Somehow.
don't think it's gonna be racist at all. I think
I think he's just gonna sound like Chris Pratt.
Oh, so he's just gonna do. His
I think he's
voice.
just
Yeah.
gonna do his normal voice.
I think they're gonna like take his voice and make it squeakier. Like
Yeah.
slightly
Someone's like
squeakier.
had a slider and just like
Yeah.
inches it up just a little bit.
I am curious to see if there's going to be any backlash when people finally hear this stuff, and there'll be a change.org thing like we saw with
Yeah.
Sonic.
Oh,
like,
sure.
No chance.
Yeah,
think
you don't
so.
think so?
I don't think so.
I mean,
no.
I
he's
think
gonna have
even
a
if there
very
is-
normal voice.
I think even if there is, they wouldn't change anything. Like,
No.
you know, we've been working on this movie long enough. Like, too bad.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
We
be a
gotta
bog
get it out.
standard voice. And I'm just like, oh, God.
I don't know. Batman says an auto-tuned T-Pain Mario.
I did think about auto-tune. Auto-tune could be pretty fun.
He just sings all of his lines.
If there isn't a gag where he collects the star and does the Superstar Mario version where he's flashing, and in that version his voice is just auto-tuned, then they failed. Like there's that would be,
I also like the phrasing, unlike anything you've heard in the Mario world, because it's like, what have
Not
we
even
heard?
mean.
Just like, waha!
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we've heard
Like,
Bowser
it's me,
going,
Mario, you know, like-
that's
yeah.
about it.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, so like literally any other voice, I
Yeah,
guess?
but in
Yeah.
the Mario, what does he say? The Mario world or the universe?
in the Mario,
Mario world.
world.
So
I
I,
guess
think
there's
that
the movie.
encompasses
The other
the
movie.
the Bob Hoskin movie.
Yeah.
So it's like the
He
movies
won't
and
sound
the
like Bob
TV
Hoskins.
shows.
yeah, not gonna sound like Bob Hoskins.
Or any
Or,
of like any of the games that are like Smash, that are like RPG or Luigi's Mansion.
The film's co-producer defended Pratt's casting and vowed that his voice work is phenomenal. Pratt echoed Meledandri's sentiment, telling Variety that Mario's voice has been updated.
Oh no, that's not
I-
a good
no,
sign.
no,
There's no way
That's
the
not-
trailer
you
for
can't
this comes
wait,
out
oh my
without it being
God. Hang on.
downvoted into oblivion.
There is more. I worked really closely with the directors and trying out a few things and landed on something that I'm really proud of and can't wait for people to see and hear. It's an animated voiceover narrative. It's not a live action movie. I'm not going to be wearing a plumber suit running all over. I'm providing a voice for an animated character, and it is updated and unlike anything you've heard in the Mario
He's just
world
gonna
before.
put on a New York voice, like that.
Hey, I'm
Yo,
walking
with some me
in.
Mario.
No, he's gonna do the Tony Soprano voice.
Yeah,
He
that
gets
would be. He's
wrapped.
gonna constantly talk about Gabagool.
Or he's gonna be Paulie or Chrissy.
Yeah. If this movie doesn't end by teasing Wario, like absolute waste of time.
Isn't Wario supposed to be in it? Didn't they
Is he
announce
in
a
it?
voice
Oh, yeah,
actor
they
for
did
it?
announce Wario.
Isn't it like Charlie Day or something?
No, Charlie
Day's
Day's Luigi.
Luigi.
Oh no.
Is Wario in it?
Yeah,
I think
Seth
so.
Rogen is.
Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
I need
Yeah.
Wario to be like the Thanos of this like where they keep teasing him
I
for
am
like
inevitable.
4 movies, and then he's like, "Fine, I will do it myself." And he gets off and like goes inside. That would
Slowly
be
puts
so
on the
good.
yellow hat.
Yeah, puts on his hat,
yeah,
and then on a bike, and then farts.
Because Jack Black is Bowser makes sense. Keegan Michael Key as Toad
Yeah.
has potential.
I hope he
Does
does the
it?
voice.
Yeah.
Just because of the voice.
Yes. And then it doesn't have Wario.
Oh, okay. Is Wario not in
That's
it?
I'm telling you, he
Yeah.
needs to be
the
the big
post-credit
bad.
scene.
He needs to be
Yeah.
like
Has to be.
he's. They need him.
They build up to him.
They build up to him the same way that he becomes the Thanos, and he just wants to snap as well.
I mean, Charles
And, like, he
Martinet
makes
is in it.
He's like, I
Yeah.
want to get all the Infinity Stones or whatever equivalent is, so I can make all
All
of
the
everyone's
items.
money
Yeah, all the different
disappear.
mushroom items.
Yeah, he makes everyone's money disappear by clicking. At the end of it.
Well, that's what activates.
for the head. And he clicks, and all, everyone's money goes away.
That's what activates the superstar power.
Yeah.
That is, right?
Well, I'll tell you what. I saw.
I can write a better Mario movie than whatever they have already done.
GameSpot's about to make this video.
I saw Jurassic World Dominion with Chris Pratt, and it
You
was.
saw him with
You
Chris
with
Pratt?
Chris Pratt went
Well,
with
yeah,
you?
I went with Chris Pratt.
Oh,
No, but he's
sick.
in that movie, and that was one of the worst movies I've seen in theaters in a very long time. So I have no faith. I mean, I didn't have much faith in Chris Pratt anyway. But like, good lord, that movie is like 3 hours long. It's boring
it
as
is.
hell. The enemies aren't even dinosaurs. It's like locusts or some shit. Like
What?
The Gears?
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
this.
pretty
all
much.
come
I
back
mean,
together.
that would be more
Souls.
interesting, to be honest. That would be more interesting. Like it is
Yeah, I think like
terrible.
Jurassic
It is so
Park
bad.
as a franchise, and this is gonna make a lot of people like absolute boil some piss. But like that franchise needs to be just like put to bed for a while, for a really long
I
time.
was
It
about to
needs
say,
to be
it-
extinct.
Yeah.
There should have never been Jurassic World and all of the. It should have
Jurassic World was fine. The
I will say
The first one was
No,
fine.
the first one
No,
was
it was bad.
With the guy with the martinis.
Do you
either
want Jurassic Park's legacy to be like, some of the movies were just
The
fun.
first one is
Like-
good in the context of the rest of them. Like if someone was like, you gotta watch one of these, I'd watch that first one happily.
Well,
Like,
sure.
I'd
The
be
first
fine.
one's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I think World is better than like 3. So
Yeah.
it's like if they had stopped at World, I would have been like, that's fine. It's okay,
Yeah.
Good.
right?
Yeah, but unfortunately,
In the same
World
way,
went on
like-
to get over a
Yeah,
billion or whatever
It's
it was.
the same way like if they had stopped at like Force Awakens, I'd have been like, oh, okay,
Yeah, cool.
cool.
That's
Star
not-
Wars is
no,
cool.
they-
I enjoy seeing.
You should never say those words in that order
I
again.
enjoyed seeing the same film again, but with a different cast.
Bob Jones did say spoilers. I think he was referring to me saying like the locust thing about Jurassic World. That is introduced very early. Like I'm not gonna spoil this movie. I don't think it's good. I don't think you should see it. But like
Don't they bring back the old?
they do,
actors?
and
Yeah,
that's
they
probably
do.
some of the more interesting stuff. But like, it's like, dude, I'm seeing a Jurassic Park movie. I just want to see dinosaurs eat. I want to see
Fighting.
Chris
Just wanna
Pratt
see a
stick his
T-Rex
hand
eat
out.
somebody.
Like
doing the hand thing still?
Oh, he does.
my
He does
Because
it.
it's all he has.
He double hands. There's
no.
two big dinosaurs, and he does this, and I'm like, both those dinosaurs should bite his arms off. Come on!
He
And
does
then
that in the
it
second
doesn't.
one as well, right? Where
I didn't
he's
see
like
it.
trying to control
Yeah.
the first one where he's like trying to make blue and
Blue.
a bunch of
Blue,
them
yeah.
stop, and like it's like, oh my god.
I didn't even
That
watch
sucks
the
so
second one.
much.
I didn't care.
I
It's not-
watched
it's
the
not
second one. I
great.
don't remember it.
We watched.
It's like
we
the
watched
Jurassic
first
Park
one
movies where they
together.
just steadily get worse
Yeah. We
over
watched
time.
the
Jurassic
first one
World just
together.
gets worse
Was
over
it?
time.
We watched it all together during No, it was pre E3. Remember?
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
all in
yeah, the
office,
whole
and
company
went
went.
as a
They sent everyone,
company
yeah.
to watch the first one.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
You were
It was
definitely
like
there.
Okay, all right.
Jean-Luc was
everyone
the
was
experience
there.
was so bad I've just blotted
If
it
you
from my
worked there, you were
memory.
there.
2015 or 2016, and yeah, we all
Oh,
went
good.
down
Then I
and
wasn't
saw them.
there.
Oh, good. I wasn't there. I didn't manage to do that.
But yeah, I don't know. That's I feel like it would just be a normal voice.
Yeah, so like what voice would it be?
It's just gonna be, hey, I'm Mario.
I don't know. I feel like that's been done.
No. I think that's exactly how it's gonna be.
Oh, that's me.
Hey.
Oh.
I'm Mario.
That's Yoshi.
Shit.
That's just Yoshi.
Yeah, just swap their voices. So let's get to the feature. Someone Biozal says, what should people buy from the Steam summer sale?
What's in the Steam?
I don't even know.
It's hard because Steam keeps crashing.
Broken. Oh, here we go.
You should buy Hollow Knight. Doesn't matter if it's on sale or
Hey,
not.
look, there's an article on the front of GameSpot.com, which is best Steam Summer Sale 2022 game.
It's
deal.
Hollow Knight.
Well,
in
I
it.
did see the Mass Effect Legendary Edition had 0% off. Accidentally, they listed it.
Is that free somewhere right now?
It's on
Amazon,
Game
I
Pass.
think. Amazon's giving it for free.
it's on-
Oh wow.
I'll quickly read off the things. There's a couple of these from the article that we put up, written by multiple people. Disco Elysium, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, Deathloop is on sale, Monster Hunter Rise, Red Dead 2, Cuphead, The Sims, Sekiro.
Oh,
is on
Strange
sale.
Horticulture.
Yeah, Dragon Age, the series is on sale. Stardew is on sale.
That's a good one.
Into the Breach is on sale, and that's a good one because they just announced some new content for that.
Sims
Resident
expansion packs are on sale. This is not a drill. For some reason, they're in Steam.
Yakuza 0 is $5.
Oh, easy,
Please.
easy sell.
Get it.
Yeah, Life is Strange 2 is cheap. And
The
there's
Sims 4 is $4.99.
some good
Wow.
deals there. There you go. Just get them, but play them on Steam Deck. You'll be
I'm
fine.
going to text Georgia and Callie right now.
Just so you know.
Okay.
We have a group. We have a group chat.
I mean,
Steam sale group.
if
chat?
it was
Bizarre.
if she was able to buy it and not have to ever open Origin again, she'd be like, I will gladly spend the $20
Exactly
bucks
not.
so I just don't have to open
The
up.
Quarry
Origin.
does that as well, where like you launch it on Steam and it's like, guess what? Did you know there's a 2K launcher? And then it's
Oh, yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
where does this
like,
come
What
from?
is this shit? Also, the other day I realized that Tiny Tina's Wonderland is out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been out
quite
for a
some
while.
time.
I
know.
played that.
I edited the review of it, and I like someone sent me an email being like, "Hey, Tiny Tina's is coming to Steam." And I was like, "What? Is it out? What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Oh, because did it go to?
It was Epic
Epic
only.
first.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
they had when did it come out? Did it come out a year ago?
It came out right after Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Which is the
Yeah.
dumbest thing.
okay.
Yeah, it was like end of March.
That's just like shooting yourself in the face. It's Borderlands done now. Like I feel
Oh,
like
It
absolutely
should
there's
not.
a movie.
No.
It's not. It should be. It's not.
Are they gonna
Like,
bring- you think there's more
Borderlands 3
in?
made
Oh yeah,
way
Borderlands
too much
3
money.
Yeah.
made
And
It
also-
made a lot of money.
Wasn't Tiny Tina pretty good actually? Like I heard that
game,
expansion
yeah.
was actually kind of good. I think just no one talked about it because
the expansion was really good. I'm
expansion
not
for
sure
two,
that you can
yes.
make an entire game off of that
Okay.
expansion.
I played like half of the game and it was fine. It was okay. I did not find it as obnoxious as Borderlands 3's writing, which isn't hard
Is that right?
because it's pretty bad. But I also was like, yeah, this is just kind of more Borderlands 3, and I already put
just-
like 50 hours into Borderlands 3.
I will
So I
happily-
personally
If they
was
just
like,
took those mechanics and just put it into a new world, like how hard is that?
So James Carr, our very own James Carr says Tiny Tina is aggressively fine.
Yeah.
Which is like, fair
Yeah.
enough. All right, folks, let's get into the big feature for the week, which I came up with minutes before we started. And here's the concept. Okay,
we're gonna make enemies here. So
we're
Yeah,
gonna make
I'm
enemies
already
here.
stressed.
And chat, get involved. The idea is you have to remove one game from existence. Okay, but the objective is to do the most damage to the industry as possible. And the butterfly effect of you removing that game has to be huge. Okay.
I already have one.
To make this
Yeah,
more
I already
to
have
make
mine
this
too.
more challenging, should we have like a cutoff year? Because like if you say a game in like 2005, it will automatically have a bigger effect than one that
yeah,
released
that's a
in
good
like
point.
2015.
True.
I think
But you gotta really, I don't know. You have to
I feel
really
like-
think through the
Yeah,
process.
Yeah.
I feel like the interesting part of this is to think about what happens as a knock-on effect. And the thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the ones that are like.
We're doing this for
obviously-
evil, right? Not for
well,
good.
Yeah.
Obviously
Okay.
foundational. Like you can't say Pong. We'll maybe take out like Doom.
Damn, the chat
Yeah,
is
a
blowing
chat- a
up.
chat-
Chad's
with,
already
like-
said Doom.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, we'll
I
go
go
one
first?
by one. Jean-Luc looks.
I'm
There's
excited.
evil
He's
in his
eager.
eyes.
Because I know who this is gonna upset. PUBG.
Oh,
You gotta get rid of
What's,
PUBG.
what's
Yeah.
the justification and what is the knock-on effect?
Well, say goodbye to all battle royale games.
Yeah.
That have come out.
Including Fortnite.
Including
Fortnite dies.
First off, Fortnite dead. Fortnite is just this weird game that like Epic put out and everyone forgot.
GameSpot goes bankrupt in 2018.
Crafting game.
Mike Mahardy made that one video about how that mode wasn't very good, and then everyone forgot about the game. Like that's the whole thing.
That's interesting.
Giving Fortnite a second chance.
So obviously you're like, okay, well that's crazy because then you don't have things like Warzone. You don't have Apex Legends.
Yeah, you don't have Apex
And
Legends.
here's why that's
I don't care
crazy.
about that as
no,
much,
no,
though.
no, no, no.
More importantly, you
don't
don't,
have
have Hyperscape.
Of course. No, you don't have Apex
An
Legends,
aggressively fine game.
which means Respawn didn't have a win. They might not exist anymore.
Oh,
Damn.
EA
that's
might have been
true.
shut them down.
Which means we don't get Jedi Fallen
We
Order
might not have
or
Jedi Fallen
Survivor.
Order.
Wait, but also we might not have like as many companies being open to crossplay.
That's
Because
true.
Fortnite's
Because
not there.
Fortnite opens.
No
Doesn't
one
Fortnite.
took on Apple
Yeah.
and Google.
No one,
Import?
no one fights Google and Apple.
Yeah.
Tim Sweeney didn't have his Popeyes cup?
Yeah, Tim
Yeah.
Sweeney doesn't have his Popeye cup. Also, what were we talking about? Vince Zampella then doesn't become like a senior executive at EA.
It's true,
Which
yeah.
has a
Yeah.
knock-on impact on what games?
Battlefield.
Battlefield. Which
Yeah,
means
wow.
Battlefield potentially dies as
There's-
a result of that.
There's
also
a
the whole
lot of first-person
Battle
shooters
Pass
that
thing
potentially
because
dies.
Fortnite.
Oh, yeah,
is
Battle
the first one that
Passes don't
did that.
exist.
Yeah, Battle, which
I think live service games as a whole aren't as popular without the battle royale.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
like they'll still exist,
Yeah.
but I don't think
I
they're
think
as
Fortnite is
popular.
like, you can point to that game as like the reason why we have like all of these like live events, why we have like all these like crossover skins. Like you
Yeah.
look at Call of Duty and they have like Godzilla and like, you know, King Kong in their game. That's because of Fortnite. That's because
Yeah.
Fortnite put Jean-Luc in their game and it was really big, and then they're like, let's just keep doing that forever.
Was John Wick the first one?
It was
think
one
so,
of the
yeah.
first
Yeah,
ones.
he was one of the
Pretty early.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But then that means that has impact on the careers of Ariana Grande. It has impacts on the careers of
Are
Travis
you gonna
Scott.
hurt
Marshmallow?
Ariana Grande,
Marshmallow
John
was
Luke?
concert.
Jeff Keighley? Jeff Keighley?
What?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be in? He was in Fortnite.
He was in
I think
Fortnite.
Ariana
He-
Grande is going to be fine.
Yeah, but also like what do you call it? Christopher Nolan's movie.
yeah,
Oh,
we wouldn't have been able to
Interstellar?
watch
We
it in
wouldn't be able to watch
Fortnite.
it.
We wouldn't have found out that
That's true.
Palpatine was returning in the newest Star
yeah.
Wars.
That's true. That's a
That was so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's just you get rid of PUBG.
Just by removing.
Really, we're just
Huge.
getting rid of
Massive.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
but you
I mean,
got to
really,
get rid of
However,
PUBG to do
if we
it.
don't, if we get rid of PUBG, we also don't get to a point where we get Callisto Protocol. So that's the
That's
monkey
true.
ball.
We lose oh,
Because
man,
that game got green lit by
Yeah.
being
by
Yeah.
being
By
part
being
of
Survivor
PUBG
game in the PUBG
universe.
universe.
Right.
So is that something that you want to do?
To get rid of Fortnite? Yeah, I'll do it.
It's worth it. It's
to
worth
kill
it.
off the Callisto.
As Summer Game
Protocol
Fest has
for?
proven, we're getting so many Dead Space. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like we can lose one.
Wow, that's a good one. That is a big one.
I was gonna pick Fortnite, but PUBG is the better.
Yeah, but do you think
Yeah.
the question is now is doing that? Do you think it's a net positive or a net negative?
Have you done enough evil?
I think it's a net positive because I gotta be real. The whole like current landscape of it's not even like Battle Pass like Battle Royale, because I feel like Battle Royale is kind of tapered off, and Battle Pass stuff is like I actually kind of think that sort of makes sense as a monetization thing. It's better than like because it replaced loot boxes, and loot boxes were like trash. It's a better setup, but I don't like this like weird world we live in where everything has to be like this insane like licensed crossover. Like I kind of hate that shit. Like I'm just like, why are you putting King Kong in the like World War II Call of Duty game?
Yeah.
Like I'm not into that kind of stuff. I know that some people really like it, and that's fine, but like for me, I'm like, yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
it. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same where like I think it's great and people who love Fortnite for being like this absolute just like melting pot of everything.
Sure.
Is like great for you, but I just find it very strange to see like lightsaber people fighting Spider-Man
Yeah.
while Batman is
And it would be
dancing in
fine
the
if just
background.
Fortnite did it, but then Fortnite's popular, so everyone's trying to do that, and
Yeah.
it's just so
Yeah.
obnoxious.
What was that song? There was that meme video that came out, which was
Yeah,
like,
Fortnite.
it was like,
down.
like
Get
this.
down.
It's a Flash song about everyone fighting everything. It was like the ultimate battle.
the ultimate showdown of ultimate
Yeah.
history.
That is what Fortnite is now.
Yes.
Oh,
The
okay,
ultimate,
yeah.
like, because it's just like it was just like a song that worked in
Yeah.
every franchise and character fighting each other.
Yeah,
and
but
that's what this game is now.
is it a kid going 10 kills on the board
No.
right now?
That's
Just
not a
wiped
kid,
out-
though. I
just
found
wiped
out.
Tomato
That's a
Town.
grown
Is it
person.
not?
It's a grown
No.
woman.
Woman, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Pretending
yeah,
to
it's
be a
not
kid.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
blew
yeah.
my mind. Yes.
I thought that was well known.
No, I had no idea.
Okay.
Chug Jug with You by Leviathan.
We destroyed.
Okay, so
This
I
has
feel
really
like-
upset me.
I feel like
Yeah.
damage-wise, if we use DEFCON levels,
Wait, no, it says Leviathan is a Canadian YouTuber known for his Fortnite-based song parodies. He's 16.
I
Really?
don't think so.
So
Which song am I thinking of then?
no, I thought it was that one because I remember like
so I heard it was just an older kid,
Yeah.
like not like a grown up.
Oh,
but
I heard it was
an
like
older
a young
dude.
lady.
I heard it was like a woman. That's what
Okay.
I heard. Maybe I'm
Um,
wrong. Maybe we're
I'm
getting our
gonna do
information.
some
Um,
Chug
yeah.
Jug
I feel
with
like
You
that's a
females.
DEFCON 2 moment.
Sure,
I feel like that's pretty big damage.
it's big damage.
Yeah. So we'll at the end we'll decide who's done the most damage. Who wants to go next?
I feel like the easiest answer for first person shooters would be something like Doom or Wolfenstein, because then that genre as a whole just
Yeah.
doesn't take off. But a harder one that I think also does a shit ton of damage is Halo 2, because then you do not popularize like online multiplayer on consoles, and like that's
that basically kills Call of Duty.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go Halo 1 and just like the Xbox is just dead in the
Oh
water.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
true.
There's no killer app.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just figured
That's
Halo
true.
2 because it affects like beyond just
No,
what
you're-
Xbox is.
But
like,
by taking out Halo 1, you remove an entire
Yeah.
like
Console
platform.
generation.
it's just the
Yeah.
big
Or
2
console
instead of the
platform.
big
Yeah.
3.
So do you want to go Halo 2 or Halo 1? Keeping in mind
Well,
that
if I get rid of Halo 1, I'm technically getting rid of
Get
Halo
Halo
2,
2.
so
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'll just do Halo 1 then. Like,
so that means like Jordan by doing that eliminates Xbox as a whole.
Yeah, Xbox is gone.
It fails.
No Game Pass.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
fails.
god, you killed
That
Game
means you
Pass?
killed Game
killed
Pass.
Game
Wow.
You've killed.
Yeah, now
you killed
well, I mean,
Spencer.
Game Pass wouldn't have mattered because Xbox wouldn't have needed something to save it from its last lack of first-party games. So.
Yeah.
What, you tell me Fusion Frenzy wasn't going to save the Xbox?
we wouldn't get the bottom of an Avatar shoe.
No.
No.
No,
You've
Connect.
killed the one versus
Connect
No
with
Connect.
Connect.
No connection.
Yeah.
Doritos Crash Course never happens.
Happy Easter
Avatar-
Wait, does another
Xbox.
console rise in Xbox's place, or is it just Nintendo and PlayStation like now up
That's a
to
good
What, I mean,
present
the
day?
Dreamcast
Well, who knows?
succeeded?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like does the Dreamcast like stick around?
No,
in-
definitely not.
Yeah. Ooh.
I guess no. Like they're
No.
like Xbox basically bought their way into this competition with Halo.
The thing is, the interesting thing is, like, also does that impact Bethesda pretty big way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Xbox
only-
hasn't
well, at
bought
least-
any of the
No, but
studios.
only
that-
that.
At least in
But-
terms of its console presence, right?
Yeah, because like Oblivion,
RPG
Morrowind,
on
Oblivion,
consoles because they
Morrowind,
were all
Yeah.
PCs.
they were, and like they
Yeah.
got far because they aligned themselves with the Western developed platform.
Mass
right?
Effect.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Mass
does-
Effect.
1
You
was
Mass Effect
is
published
gone.
by Microsoft.
Hey, but no Andromeda, so you know.
Worth it.
Get the fuck out
That's
of
for
here.
you. That's for you.
That's a bunch. Basically, the majority of modern Western RPGs are now gone
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Jordan.
Or they're
killed
just
Halo.
stuck on
you.
PC and they just never
Yeah,
come to
I guess
console.
they're stuck on PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because BioWare had a huge presence on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Like
Because they were
Knights
like,
of the
please,
Republic.
Witcher,
Jade
like we'll help
Empire.
you make an Xbox port.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like, also, like, how many? There's like a bunch of studios that don't make it. Like Undead Labs probably doesn't
Yeah.
exist. State of Decay was massive.
Ninja
for-
Theory?
Ninja Theory.
Theory.
Yeah.
Well, they were
Yeah.
doing okay.
Well, they were doing okay, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
The
who knows?
investment,
The
they wouldn't be able to
Coalition.
grow. The coalition wouldn't exist.
Oh, yeah,
Gears
Gears.
wouldn't exist.
Gears.
Wouldn't
Wait, if
exist.
Gears doesn't
Mad
exist,
World.
does that mean
Does
Epic,
Garage-
Oh,
does
wow,
Epic not
yeah.
get big enough and Fortnite doesn't happen?
Oh,
Like, you could-
You're all gonna kill Fortnite
kill
one way
Fortnite.
or
It all
another.
goes back to Fortnite.
You could conceivably kill Fortnite by killing the Xbox. It's possible.
Oh my god.
That's true. Also, like Gary Jules probably doesn't get as popular as.
No,
as
he's Donnie Darko. He's fine.
Yeah, true. No, but Mad World really helped.
No, that was Donnie Darko though.
Yeah, but after Donnie Darko, like, was it? I think like the Gears thing is what really propelled him way further.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think people I bet you if you put them side by side, Gears had more of an impact than Donnie Darko.
I think so.
I don't think so.
You do not understand how huge that
That-
trailer
that
thing is.
No, I know how big the trailer was,
I
but it's
can-
like synonymous with one of the
I
most.
feel like Donnie Darko is still quite a like cult movie, whereas Gears is like.
I will tell you,
massive.
as a kid, who hadn't seen Donnie Darko, I had no idea it was from that movie. I knew it was from the Gears.
Yeah,
trailer.
I think that's the case for a lot of people.
All those Xbox kids.
I say like
no
Jean-Luc,
idea.
I was also like, oh yeah, from Gears.
From Gears, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't have that Gears trailer. We don't have like all those other like trailers that were trying to mimic it. We don't get that Dead Island trailer.
What happens to the career of what's his name who voiced
Big Phil?
Marcus Phoenix and
John
Bender.
DiMaggio? I think
Oh, no,
he's
he's
still fine.
Futurama.
got
He's
Futurama.
fine.
Yeah, but
He's still fine.
Futurama was gone for a really long time.
It was gone
He had
for a
a-
really
But
long
he was
time.
already in, and then he was in
Adventure
Adventure
Time,
Time.
Oh, he's in
Yeah,
Avenger.
he had
now,
Jake the
okay.
Dog,
He's
so
fine.
I
he's
guess
fine.
I say, so how many studios just get fucked without Xbox around?
Well,
Like,
Coalition's gone. Doesn't exist.
343 would.
343 is
343
gone.
is gone.
Who knows what happened to Bungie?
Yeah, Destiny,
Sadly,
would that even be a
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Well,
Bungie
Also-
is probably still makes games.
you know
they
what the
just
monkeys
they
bore
don't
of
make
this situation
Halo.
they
is?
just didn't make Halo. Well, no, Bungie ends up being on Mac. Maybe
Oh,
they
yeah.
stuck
Oh,
with Mac.
yeah.
Halo's on
They-
Mac.
Halo's on Mac and died.
That would be the other platform. They'd make a Mac console.
Yeah, they
That
would
would
have
be it.
Mac console.
Yes.
Mac is the
Finally, Apple gets
third
into
version.
gaming.
Fortnite's dead and Apple now
Yeah.
rules all of gaming.
The sad, you know what the monkey's paw situation is? Accessibility in games is not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
That's true.
yeah, because Microsoft is pushing
Yeah,
that
they
hard.
are.
They like
Yeah, the
Adaptive
accessible
controller.
controller.
yeah, and like all the kind of other stuff that they do to make games more accessible.
You
That's
proud of yourself,
gone.
Jordan?
Are you happy about that, Jordan?
This was the point of the game.
He's right because that excludes a lot of people away from gaming. The damage is monumental, and yeah, there's a like Forza doesn't exist.
Yeah.
1010's gone.
Playground's gone. Fable.
Playground's gone. Fable's gone.
Oh, fair.
That whole like indie movement we had with
Oh,
Xbox
Arcade.
Arcade like just
Jonathan
doesn't
Blow,
happen.
Like
Uh,
Braid doesn't happen.
Fuck, I think I killed Hollow Knight with this.
Yeah,
like
you definitely have killed Hollow Knight.
Remember, like when Xbox, they really pushed like indie games. What did they call that?
Xbox
Summer
Arcade.
Arcade.
Yeah,
Summer
some
Arcade.
arcade. Like really,
Child of
like,
Light,
put indie
Braid,
games in, like a
Limbo.
big
Limbo.
spotlight.
You know
like,
what sucks? Bayonetta doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, because that first one was only on Xbox.
Only on
right?
Xbox.
No,
my
it was
God. It came
on
to
PS3.
PlayStation
It was a
eventually.
trash version.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
bad.
Bayonetta probably doesn't come back, which means Nintendo doesn't pick it up later.
Yeah.
Which means probably
It doesn't get a rare 10 out of 10
Yeah.
from GameSpot for
which
Bayonetta
means
2.
Bayonetta probably just doesn't exist, which means Platinum might not be around because Bayonetta was pretty big.
Yeah,
for
but then
them.
we
They
don't
had
get
the Platinum
Babylon's
3.
Fall, so like it's a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've killed Fortnite. That's
Yeah.
really all that matters.
Is that what this thought experiment is? Is like, how can you
How
kill
can
6
you
degrees?
kill-
Oh yeah, it's like 6
Killing
degrees to.
Yeah, that's a big one. Who wants to go next?
I have one that I think I might need help working through, but I guess that's why people are like, I got two I'm trying to decide between. Should I just say both and then we can figure out which
Yeah.
one
yeah.
seems more
We also have
interesting?
a great one in the chat.
There's
that we can like
yes,
discuss.
I was gonna say there's a good one in the chat.
There's one in the chat that I saw that's really good. I think we should.
We'll
Same.
go
We'll
through
save
the
it.
chat.
We'll
through
save
the
it
chat
for
stuff.
the end. But like,
One of them is Final Fantasy VII.
Oh,
Wow.
The other
Wow.
one that I was thinking was Super Smash Bros.
I feel like
think
you should go with
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy VII.
Probably.
yeah. I
Final
guess if you
Fantasy
remove
7
Smash Brothers, those games still exist.
Those games still exist, but like the
And if anything-
cross, I
we
think
we get less
Seven's
Smash
probably more
clones.
interesting.
If anything, you're cleaning up the industry by making PlayStation All Stars Battle
So,
Royale.
though, to Jake's point, if you take out Smash, you lose people like me who are like, oh, I played Smash because I recognized like Mario and
Yeah.
Yoshi, but I didn't know like Samus, and then I go to
Yeah.
play Metroid. It's like
Yeah.
Smash
So-
helf get people
I
to.
feel like
I
Final
guess it
play
was more of
other
a personal
games.
thing for me because like
Yeah.
most of these games that I'm familiar with on Nintendo's end were characters in Smash. Like the reason I played Earthbound was because of NES and,
Yeah.
and like you're saying Metroid. But I do think Seven's probably.
Yeah,
So if you're-
That's fucking huge,
How can
my
we
guy.
get? How can we like
Kill Fortnite.
kill Fortnite without
Okay.
Seven's
How
existence?
do you kill Fortnite?
If you're
with
killing
Seven?
7, is the implication that like they don't make any more Final Fantasies? Like
I think it was more. I was thinking like
I guess
that would
8
kind of
just becomes the new 7.
kills. like Final Fantasy in the West, right? Like I
I feel like
Yeah.
7 is the one that
Final
made
Fantasy
it really
never
kick
makes
off.
it into the West.
Well,
JRPGs
it
as a
stays
whole
on
really
Nintendo
don't
at
really
the
make
very
it to the
least.
West.
Okay,
But
so if
Nomura doesn't get involved.
so does that kill the PlayStation 1?
Does that kill
Dead.
Kingdom Hearts?
No,
Well, it kills
PlayStation 1 still has
I
Metal
hope.
Gear. It still has
It's true-
a
that's
bunch
true.
of
Yes,
other major
yes.
games. It's still Crash Bandicoot. It's got like a bunch of
Yeah,
its
you're
own
right.
things.
You're right.
But I feel like the JRPG takes a massive hit.
I feel like this is
a
one of
lot
those
of
things
people are
where
saying
it's
it
like,
does nothing.
well, I feel like taking out Final Fantasy VII isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, we start losing all these things. It's more like there are so many people in our industry that like, oh, I'm only a journalist, I'm only a developer, I'm only this because I played Final Fantasy VII and I fell in love
Yes.
with games. And so you lose a lot of people who might have fallen in love with games at a very crucial time.
Square
Good
Enix
point.
doesn't become popular enough to Square doesn't become popular enough to rival Enix, which means they either Dragon Quest becomes the
Was at that point they
dominant
were still just
J-
Square?
Yeah,
Okay.
at that Square Soft.
Yeah.
At that point, either Dragon Quest becomes dominant in the JRPG genre, or I think Dragon Quest also dies because they needed to merge
Yeah.
to carry on existing.
Which means like
which
they
means
never
you kill
bought
off-
they never bought Tomb Raider or they never bought all
No.
those games.
Which means
Who knows what even happened to that stuff?
kill Legacy of Kain.
The chat wants to go with the timeline that with 7 gone, 8 just becomes the new
I
7.
don't think that works because
because
8 only gets
Was built
greenlit
off-
based off
yeah.
of
Yeah.
the
Off of
popularity
7.
of 7.
That's
and
right.
because like the Steam or the I don't know what they call it, teen punk or whatever it is, like the Nomura vibe doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Go forward.
Well, it
At
does
best,
go
you
Kingdom
can
This is
say,
an insidious fuckery, Jake. Like
at
this,
best,
like
you can say
this,
if
It's a little
Final
more
Fantasy-
subtle, I think.
If
Yeah.
Final Fantasy continues, 9 becomes the next one because it's like classically Final Fantasy, and I
I'm
don't
okay with
think
that.
this has
I'm okay with
implications
that,
that
but
like we
9
can't even
Yeah,
dare guess.
It's not gonna yes.
but I don't think Final Fantasy lives with 9 becoming the next one. I don't think it lives on to get
No,
to
no, no.
14.
Yeah.
which
Does
means
Kingdom
you
Hearts
kill.
still happen?
No.
Without?
I
No.
don't. Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts.
Thank
doesn't happen.
God.
Hi. Yeah, no,
Hearts.
The
it's
idea
better.
of Kingdom Hearts of branching these very different franchises might have been an early inspiration for Fortnite, and so
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's bring it back to Fortnite.
Yeah, so I think that you kill off a bunch of major, JRPGs.
Major
generally.
franchises, and I
I
agree
feel
with
like
Jordan's
also-
point of like you're just killing people who like grew up.
Well, you're not killing them, but
Or-
yeah.
here's the thing.
or like
There's
they
a
take
significant-
different inspiration
There's
for their
a-
first
there's-
video
yeah,
game that
There's
they
a
made.
very, very big chance that if you kill off Final Fantasy VII, you kill off Undertale.
Oh shit!
So
Somewhere Michael
Toby
Hyam
Fox.
just started crying.
I mean, he's in there.
He's in
Yeah,
the
he
chat.
said-
literally said "fuck you." And
Yeah, to the 14. To the 14s.
I think Undertale goes away because Dragon Quest obviously is impacted. I guess Earthbound is the main one.
there are a lot of
influences,
FF7 inspired
but
games.
There's a whole lot of Final Fantasy VII inspired games that goes.
Lot
Advent
of
Children
indie
goes
games.
away. Advent Children goes away, which impacts the movie industry.
in only a positive way.
Lance Bass's
Spirits
career
within.
is like fully dead. David Boreanaz never voices Squall in
Yeah.
in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh shit!
Hayden Panettiere is
Hayden
never
Panettiere
Kyrie.
probably is not as popular.
Doesn't that mean she's not in Until Dawn?
Maybe, yeah, that's her in point. So I
Sure.
feel like that's big damage. That is big damage.
It is big damage.
But is it a net positive? Do you think?
I think it's only negative. I think
I-
it's only
yeah,
negative
I think-
effects that come from this.
I think the effects aren't as quite as big, but the effects are generally
Yeah.
negative, I think.
Yeah.
But also, I think
Except for getting rid of Kingdom
I think
Hearts.
you've done
maybe it
I
is
think
a good
you've
thing.
done not a major amount of
You've done a
damage.
net
You've done a
service
very
getting rid of Kingdom
specific
Hearts.
amount of like damage.
Yeah.
Like, you hurt a lot of
You
people.
Like, I
Michael
kinda-
Hyam specifically.
yeah. Jordan, do you want to go next?
That he
Oh,
did.
yeah. Of course you will.
Yeah.
I can go next. I think a very easy one. You just kill off.
Yeah, you called it right away.
Yeah, you kill off Demon Souls.
We don't get any
if you
Souls
take
like.
out Demon Souls.
Fuck, Hollow Knight's a
doesn't-
Souls-like.
Miyazaki
Yeah.
never directs again.
I mean,
And then basically that kills off. Like it kills off so many Souls. Like
You killed Hollow Knight for me.
yeah, kills Hollow
off-
Knight.
You kill Vati.
I kill
Iron
Vati Vidya.
Pineapple.
Wow,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of
You
You
YouTubers.
kill
Jesus.
RKG.
I kill off myself.
Yeah.
No, but you kill off RKG.
RKG, our
Yeah.
friends don't have a
Sweet
career now.
friends.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
in
they
terms
pivoted
of-
to just Resident Evil content.
And you know what happens?
What are all those indie developers?
You know what
gonna do
happens?
now, Tam?
Instead, the industry is still dominated by third-person, over-the-shoulder shooters.
The brown ones.
Yeah, the brown ones where sticky
Yeah.
cover. That is the predominant way of
Maybe
interacting with games still, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you like Miyazaki doesn't make any games.
You
which
are
means-
getting rid of the art. Should games be have an easy mode discourse though?
That's what I'm saying.
that's a
Oh,
good
yeah,
point.
okay.
That's a
I
good
clean
point.
up Twitter by doing this.
But at what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah, we do lose one of the greatest
Um,
games ever made.
Yeah, so those
Several of the
those
greatest
are
games ever
gone.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like also take out Stranger of Paradise, which
Yeah, I mean,
again
masterpiece.
attacking
Again,
Michael
massive
Hyatt.
attack to
Yeah.
Michael Hyatt.
Excellent writing.
But yeah, there's multiple. That is a studio. I think like that also impacts what Kadokawa Games, and probably impacts like Famitsu in a way.
I was gonna
that
say, how
impacts
much does that just affect like Japan's
Japan
whole-
as an industry
Because
like starts to
I
take a
think
bit of a hit.
There was that period in the mid 2000s where it felt like Japan's like hold on the video game industry was really slipping.
Yeah.
And I think
Well, here specifically, not in Japan.
No, specifically
Like-
in America, right? Like it felt like that they weren't prioritizing it, but I feel like like Square as well, but also like From Software is a huge reason why like
Yeah.
Japan is still like top of the game when it comes to games. Like you can't
Yeah.
beat them because you got fucking Elden Ring. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, but that also kind of impacts PlayStation 5, like because Blue Point making Demon Souls remake, that was like the major game, perhaps not like as pivotal as Halo, but like I feel like the PlayStation 5 struggles a bit hard more.
I
in
mean, you
trying
might
to get
just
through.
absolutely destroy Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco is
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
gone.
They're
Oh,
So all those anime
All those
games,
anime games
are
are
just
all
gone.
those bullshit fighting games.
Dragon Ball Fighters is
Yeah.
gone. All the Dragon Ball games are gone.
Dragon
all
Ball
the
Fighters.
Digimon games are gone.
To be fair,
Nino Kuni's gone.
Nino Kuni's
Yeah.
gone. Yeah, like Japan is crippled.
Code Vein.
Code Vein.
Everyone's
Yeah.
mourning Code Vein, I'm sure.
Yeah, like
Oh wait. Well, in the UK at least, Bandai published The Witcher.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
which
they-
is
So,
gone.
yeah.
Atlas is also kind of hurt by it because they published Demon Souls in a bunch of places, and it made them hella bank.
That's true.
So which means Persona's impacted by that. We could kill it. I think like you.
But that was
potentially
Atlas
kill it.
USA. That was a different.
George R. R.
Yeah,
Martin
true.
loses an excuse to
Yeah.
focus on his books, and
Yeah, the final
Winter
final
comes
book.
out.
I
Yeah.
did like look over in Slack, and apparently he is working on that fucking Jon Snow sequel series. I was like,
no.
George, just write the book.
Yeah, someone points out Gundam is probably not living. A bunch
Damn.
of Naruto games are gone. Naruto's probably not as popular as it is now. You hate to see it. So I feel like
Get
All my
even.
Tales games, those are gone.
all the Tales games are
Not
gone.
all of
yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Tales of
anime
Arise.
as a whole just isn't as big because games
I
do
don't know
a.
about that.
No,
I feel like that's
I feel like
just-
anime games are done.
No, anime
games are done.
I feel like you guys are giving From Software a little too much credit.
No, From Software
No,
killing off
Bandai
Namco.
Namco.
Oh,
Then Bandai
Because
Namco
because like
doesn't
I
work
was one of
with-
those people, and I'm not speaking for everyone, but like there's a bunch of people like me who are like, oh, I didn't get into anime. I went to a friend's house. They had an anime game.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
played it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, now I'm gonna go home and actually watch the
The
show that this
alternative
game
is
is
like
about.
and anime games get better. That's what I think happens because
Oh,
like
because Bandai Namco doesn't
because
have
Bandai
them.
Namco doesn't like factory
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco doesn't connect with CyberConnect 2 and make the same game for every franchise.
A lot of people are saying like we're not saying they would kill Bandai Namco. We're saying it would affect
Yeah.
Bandai Namco greatly because
I mean, like there was
Yeah.
a period where Dark Souls was pretty much everything Bandai Namco had,
Sure,
in
yeah.
Europe,
but
yeah.
They would probably
Very
like
small
eke out a
period.
living based on the anime.
Yeah. I just think
Which
to
make
your
them
point,
big in Japan.
it would just be a different landscape for them.
We'd have a different Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
They would have never changed
Namco
the logo.
Bandai.
I'm not sure. Would we even have Bandai Namco North America? Because they have.
No.
We probably wouldn't have prepared to try as a phrase.
Prepare crime.
Get good wouldn't be a phrase.
Oh, yeah, we'd have to get
wouldn't be a
good.
phrase. Paul Vati again, as mentioned.
I was say you've killed so many
I've killed
YouTubers
a lot of
because like not
YouTubers.
only like the
wouldn't
Soulsborne
hire-
ones,
we
but like the
wouldn't hire
ones who
Dave-
are
Dave
like
Klein.
doing similar games of
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like Demon Souls and Dark Souls where like they hide their lore. Like,
We wouldn't have
Oh,
hired
yeah.
Dave Jewett.
Yeah, we wouldn't
Or
have Dave
Dave
Jewett, Dave
Klein.
Klein.
Wow.
Friendships have been ruined.
Yeah. You happy with
Hates
that?
it. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. It's great. Lucy. what's your
I
pick?
have two different options. One of which is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The other
No,
one.
you took out Elden Ring.
The other one. The other
Says
one
the guy who
is.
just killed Dark Souls.
Yeah. The other one is Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
Because if we didn't get
Assassin's Creed's a
Assassin's
good
Creed,
one.
if you think about the
For a
pervasive,
while though, it created so much positive.
but then if you didn't have Assassin's Creed, think about the
No
pervasive
Witcher.
way every open world game has tried to emulate the Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Oh, does it
formula.
kill the Ubisoft open
It
world?
kills
Yeah,
the
it
formula?
kills the
open world
Ubisoft open
formula,
world.
I consider that only a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, like,
that's
you
the
don't get
problem.
the
It's
Witcher out of that.
like for a while, Lucy is really evil, and then for a while, then it's like, oh, and now you're doing a good thing. Like
Although here's weird monkey's paw, if open world games just didn't become popular and didn't become oversaturated where people wanted to like make them better, does Breath of the Wild happen?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, the reason I picked Breath of the Wild is because I was like, how do I take out Nintendo? And I was like, well,
Ocarina
Nintendo's
of Time.
Ocarina
yeah,
of
but
Time,
that's the thing, like, Ocarina of Time. But I didn't want to go all the way back there to like keep it something.
Sure.
But like, if you think about where Nintendo was in the Wii U, and like the Switch was like saved
You
them
take
in a
out
lot
Wii
of ways.
Sports,
But
is
if
what
you
you
think
do.
about if the Switch didn't launch with Breath of the Wild, it would have launched with like
One
two
Switch.
Switch.
Yeah. Wii Sports is a
If you take out
massive
Wii Sports,
Yeah,
one.
Wii
you kill
Sports
the
is
Wii, and like
Yeah,
you
Nintendo's in
just
trouble.
destroy
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either that or they save money because they don't make the Wii U.
They might not live long enough.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say they were already really struggling from the
They
GameCube.
were struggling from GameCube. Yeah, I think if you take out Wii Sports, you kill
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Wii Sports, you
Damn.
kill Nintendo completely.
So are you going with Assassins?
I'm gonna go with Assassin just because you changed the landscape of every.
Yeah, you
third-
don't get
Yeah.
Witcher.
We wouldn't get the fucking movie,
You want to get the movie?
With,
I never meet
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
but you probably also wouldn't get the which was first, Prince of Persia movie or the.
The Prince of Persia movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might still get.
So
that
you just
one.
read me. Assassin's Creed 2 is the thing that really got me into video games.
We
So
might have
it's
gotten more
like-
Prince of Persia games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
never got
Maybe I would have
Assassin's
played
Creed.
that.
I mean, I don't think we're getting Sands of Time anytime.
The Altair joke never appears in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
Devastating.
The-
The crew doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Steep
Far
doesn't
Cry?
exist.
Watch
Far Cry
Dogs
doesn't
doesn't
exist.
Well,
exist.
Far Cry exists, but doesn't.
Yeah, it
if
doesn't
it doesn't
become-
hit
3
the
doesn't
highs,
exist.
yeah, 3.
Yeah, Watch Dogs doesn't exist. Once again, Hyper Escape probably.
I was
doesn't
gonna say Far Cry might exist just because Far Cry.
But Far
2
Cry would be like back to how it was. Like,
yeah, it
just-
would be like the Far Cry 2.
Yeah.
That's better. Far
it
Cry
though?
2
I'm with
became
you,
the
I'm with
popular
you.
one.
Is it
No, no,
though?
no. If they had evolved Far Cry 2 and went in that direction instead of like, what if we make it more like Assassin's Creed with like checklists everywhere? Way better.
I feel like
Way better.
I feel
I'm
like
with
Watch
Jean-Luc.
Dogs Legion is an
Oh, I
argument
forgot about
against that.
game.
No, but I'm saying like I think there is something to be said about like evolving
Evolving, yeah, taking
Far
it.
Cry 2. Like there's an alternate path Far Cry could have gone that would have been way more interesting.
Ubisoft
Yeah.
looked at all their franchise and they're like, how can we make all of them like Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does it even exist if you take out Assassin's Creed?
I would argue that it
I
What
think
if
they
they
do.
got-
They're just not nearly
No,
as
they
big
got
as they
bought
are.
out
by Vivendi.
Oh.
by
Oh,
Vivendi.
Vivendi.
Vivendi
Yeah,
buys them.
Vivendi is successful in buying them out.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have gotten another Splinter Cell game though. So
Maybe,
you
yeah.
know,
Vivendi.
Mm.
Vivendi.
My other option I was toying with was GTA 3.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow, you just
Kill
destroyed
Rockstar.
like open world games.
Yeah.
as we
Open
knew
world
it.
games are done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
GTA
big one.
Online is done. Red Dead is done.
Red Dead
Bully's
is
done.
Bully.
Saints Row's
L.A.
done.
Noire. Saints Row.
Manhunt is done.
Saints Row.
So there's like it changes the landscape of like ratings. Hot coffee doesn't happen,
Yeah.
which changes
Oh,
the industry.
wow.
Yeah.
Um,
You don't have Rockstar Gamers with Daniel Radcliffe on the
Oh, yeah.
BBC.
oh god,
that's wild.
But you don't have the new Dre album. Well, I mean, you might
I'll
do,
be
but
fine.
yeah.
I'll be fine without that.
You have the new
Tam's
Dre?
like, I'll live.
It's broadly fine.
Yeah.
That is a good one though. Assassin's Creed is a good one.
That's a really
Less
good one.
icons on a map.
It's a really good modern
What was the
one.
one from chat?
so there's one in chat that was really good. That was Half-Life.
Oh no, I was looking at the
I
other
avoided
chat
Half-Life.
one.
I was
Oh,
looking
really?
at World of
Well-
Warcraft.
Oh, I wasn't even. I was
Warcraft.
looking at the one after that, which was Candy Crush,
Candy
which like
Crush.
really helped mobile gaming
Oh.
like
Yeah.
get into a lot
The
of
thing with
people.
Half-Life that they pointed out though was that
PC.
Steam wouldn't exist,
Steam.
you know, and like that would
Half-Life
be.
2 specifically.
I think
Yeah.
Half-Life 2
Half-Life
specific.
2,
That would just
yeah.
kill Steam entirely because the
they
reason
don't
why
have, yeah.
Yeah,
people adopted
wow.
Steam.
That kills Counter-Strike, which kills esports in a big way.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Counter-Strike was still around
Wait, isn't-
before Half-Life 2.
Yeah, but like I don't think
Dota?
it.
Yeah.
When
I
was
don't think
Dota?
it gets as big.
Oh
without Steam distribution.
You're right. Like CS:GO doesn't become like
Yeah,
the big
CS:GO
thing it
doesn't
is.
become
Yeah.
Source doesn't become a thing,
Sure.
and like making it free doesn't become a thing, which means like competitive stuff doesn't work, and there's like it might have impact on Dota as well.
Yeah.
Dota 2.
I
was
I mean, if you
2013,
kill
so-
Half-Life 1, you're not only killing because you would kill obviously Counter-Strike, but you're killing like all the multiplayer mod maps. You're
Yeah.
killing like Team
Blue
Fortress.
Shift.
You're killing.
If you kill Blue Shift, Gearbox is gone, which means Borderlands never happens.
all right, positive.
Really, if you're just killing Steam, though, like you're just.
Killing the Steam
Wouldn't-
Deck as well,
like-
which is a horrible.
But just killing Steam, like one place that unifies so many games on one platform on
Who would-
PC.
who would-
I could be off.
Rise.
That would also
It's
kill
just
Battle
game-
Royale too,
yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
that
It's
was.
just Gabe Newell in his office with one knife. Just one knife.
Did you
He
kill
never
you kill
gets a war.
Titanfall? That was on Source.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Titanfall's
yeah. Gary's mod.
You also kill
Wow.
off every Steam like though. So like Origin is gone. Every other launcher is gone because no one tries it.
I mean, I think it would eventually happen. It would just be like, who knows what it would look like.
Yeah.
Well, they probably would have tried to tackle it the way that people do it on consoles. Like, oh, we need something like that's a console, but on the PC.
Maybe the Microsoft Store became a big thing. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, games for Windows Live.
Games for Windows Live becomes huge.
The monkey paw girls.
Yeah. That's a big one.
And we all
That's a
suffer.
good one. Okay, now we have to decide who did the most damage. I think it's pretty obvious who did the most
Yeah,
damage.
absolutely.
It was
Yeah.
Jean-Luc.
Yeah, I think so.
Killing PUBG.
PUBG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Although,
That destroys
Jordan
the
killed
modern
Xbox.
gaming.
Jordan
Jordan killing
Jordan
Xbox.
killed Xbox.
That's pretty
That's
up
a
there,
big deal.
honestly.
Interesting.
But John Luke's, I feel like he has a
a.
slightly better
Yeah.
answer because it just is
Who's
like
got
it's a more
access to-
modern.
You should do a poll.
One.
I'm
In the
doing a
chat.
poll right
Oh,
now.
doing the
Oh
poll in
wait.
the chat.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Um,
Because I did the thing where it's like, oh, the further, like if we had said like Pokemon or Doom or Mortal Kombat, like those have larger effects just because they're older. I said Halo,
Yeah.
which is
you should
2000.
you should put all the options in.
So
it was,
Jean-Luc, you were PUBG. Jordan, Halo.
Halo.
Combat
Yeah.
Evolved.
Halo.
FromSoft, Demon Souls. Yours
FF7.
was Final Fantasy 7,
And then Assassin's Creed.
and then Assassin's Creed, and then the chat one was.
Oh, I can only do 5.
There's only 5.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
interesting. Cannon Shout says, without Thief, the entire immersive sim genre disappears. Maybe not Thief, but if you kill Ultima,
I'm about to say there was one.
if you kill Ultima,
Oh,
you
yeah.
kill immersive sims, which means you kill, which means Arcane Arcane
exist.
Don't
doesn't
do
exist.
If
So
you kill Oblivion, you don't get horse armor.
That's
Oh,
yeah.
we don't
Which
get paid
means
DLC.
DLC doesn't exist.
someone would have done it.
EA would still
Which means
exist in that
Skyrim doesn't
timeline.
exist.
Skyrim doesn't exist would be huge.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. We've got some votes coming in on if you're watching on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like
But,
Halo
like-
and PUBG. Oh
Halo
no,
and PUBG are
Halo.
really vying for it.
I got one. Tomorrow we got one.
Yeah.
No
I got one.
for
I'm
me.
good.
That's fine. I should have changed mine to Wii Sports. Damn it.
Yeah, Wii Sports.
Wii Sports really fucked
Yeah,
Nintendo
would've
up.
Wii Sports. I was like, is that too cruel?
That's Miyamoto retired.
Don't.
That's Iwata retired. Reggie never happens.
I never got.
so many people.
Oh my god.
A bunch of Metroid.
Also,
games
just
never
motion
exist.
controls as a
Smash,
concept.
motion.
Just like
Yeah.
Which
That
means
is a massive
which
one.
means the Kinect probably
Connect doesn't
didn't
happen.
happen.
Switch
Like, none
doesn't
of
happen in its
Gaming
current
never
form.
gets to mainstream TV, which
Oh,
means as a like a landscape, we're still the kids in the basement.
Oh yeah, your grandma's not playing
Yeah,
video games
a bunch
anymore.
of TV screens. Samsung is probably out of business because they don't have to repair TV screens. That's massive damage.
We've got a winner. With 47%
Wow.
of the votes, it's Jordan.
Jordan,
Killing
wow.
Halo.
I think that's
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Halo.
I am the supervillain.
All right, folks, that brings to a close the first ever GameSpot After Dark podcast live. If you are in the chat, thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, please do follow the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GameSpot. If you are listening through podcast services, I was, of course, joking. You are very much appreciated.
He says at the end.
Until the
Yeah,
end.
Yeah. If you are listening, just go to Twitch and follow us there. We want to try and grow this as a place for us to do the live podcast as well. It's fun as we proved, like interacting with chat, and we're hoping this will be the future of GameSpot After Dark. But we need you to kind of get involved and help us out with that by hitting follow and like sharing it and telling people about it. That would be really, really cool. Also, if you can go to the podcast services and rate and review us there, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, Triland also says the GameSpot YouTube is 10K away from 5 million.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So
Getting close.
if you could
Getting
throw us a
close.
sub, if you
We are
going
going
to
to be archiving these on YouTube as well.
Do we want to talk about the t-shirt?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The t-shirt.
Yeah, so if you don't know, we went to Summer Games Fest and wore this t-shirt, Key 3. Which
Limited quantity.
edition, which proved to be quite popular.
Yeah.
And there was much demand for it to be sold. And we weren't sure whether we were going to be able to do it, but we spoke to the powers that be, and it looks like the Key 3 t-shirt is going to be put up for sale. It is very affordable. We had a conversation about the pricing.
Whole conversation about
Yes, we
it.
did.
We did our absolute best to drive the price as low as possible. We're not 100% sure what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be like $25-ish.
Yeah.
We are obviously that money is going to GameSpot, and it's going to be, we're a corporate, Red Ventures is a corporation and it wants to make some money, but it's not a crazy margin. We're trying to get like people who want this t-shirt out for as cheap as possible. It's going to function on a pre-order basis because obviously we're not at a stage where people where our parent company can commit to just making these as it happens. So it's going to be a pre-order system where you register your interest, and once you reach a certain amount, that's when it starts printing.
Yeah.
I think you'll pay up front.
Yeah, you pay up front, and then you'll get informed.
You'll get informed it's coming now.
Yeah.
So it's like all above board. It's all going to be cool. Like we can talk about the t-shirt itself. Like it's good quality. Like it's decent quality. The design is obviously fun. It commemorates. It kind of commemorates. I don't know if we're using the same manufacturer, but I know that the ones that the shop that we used did our previous year's t-shirts for E3, and they're all good quality.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of start of it. Like a lot of people showed interest in the Key 3 t-shirt, so you can buy that. If it's successful, we'll start moving into providing other cool t-shirts. Like people have already talked about doing an After Dark t-shirt.
I was gonna say, by the way, huge shout out to Dan Auer, who used to work here at GameSpot and Giant Bomb, but like came back to help freelance our new logo design.
Yeah,
and huge shout out to previous designer. My COVID brain is breaking. Our intern, who
Miranda?
Yes,
who made the previous logo that did us
logo.
like well for so long. Shout out to her. But yeah, like Dan Auer did our current logo, a new logo for the live part of it, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
If it gets, if this t-shirt run is successful, we'll start working with designers to make cool t-shirts.
Yeah.
In the same way that Giant Bomb does, and hopefully we'll grow from there. So yeah, keep an eye out on the podcast and GameSpot.com and various other places. We'll tweet about it once it was available. Once it's available to buy, and get yourself a Key 3 t-shirt. It's a novelty. Jeff Keighley has one.
He does.
He was very excited to have one.
Oh, he was. I wasn't sure because you were like, he just gave a thumbs up. I'm like,
when I saw him the next day, he was like, "Where's my t-shirt?"
Okay.
And I was like, "Bro, you gave me a thumbs up. You heart the message that doesn't say whether you want it or not." But he very much wanted it, and like when I saw him later, he was like, "Hell yeah!" He took the t-shirt. He was up for it. So Jeff Keighley has one. When the show returns next year, you better believe we're going to be calling it Key 3. I've seen other podcasters and other publications starting to call it Key 3, and you know that we came up with that shit. So yeah, get behind it, and there you go. The first bit of merchandise for, I guess, this podcast.
I guess.
Yeah. So we'll see you again next week. Timing remains to be confirmed, just because we're trying to stay out of the way of Voicemail Dump Truck. We don't want to cannibalize the viewership on Giant Bomb, because they are our friends and colleagues, and we work with them, and we also want to listen and watch voicemail dump truck instead of
Yeah.
being,
So
yeah,
maybe,
we'll figure it out.
Maybe 3, maybe 4. We're
Yeah,
kinda
we're
figuring
thinking
out the
later,
time.
but we'll find a good time.
Yeah.
We'll experiment with things and see how it goes.
Keep you up to date in the Discord.
Yes, if you're not already, join the Discord. It's growing. It's a really nice community. And then now that we're live, you better believe like we'll have more guests, and we've done a 5-person podcast now, and it works. Chaim's here all the time. Jake is back.
Can't get rid of him.
And we're going to probably
coming
bring in
back.
people
He
from
doesn't
other
work
places
anymore.
as well. We used to have folks from like Kind of Funny show up,
Yeah.
and it feels good to be back in the studio. And
It
we're
does.
also live now, so I think a lot of people are going to be up for coming in. I talk to Blessing all the time, and he's like, "Let's do another podcast," and we'll get folks in. So
Yeah.
Honestly, I just can't tell you how nice it is to do these conversations not through Zoom. I
Yeah.
am
Oh,
so
sorry, no, you go first.
sick and tired of that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, about to be a stronger podcast. So we'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.